Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the first T20 international between South Africa and Ireland, live from Bristol in the United Kingdom. With me, I have Anis Muhammad, and in
Hey
a
everyone,
moment, we'll take you through the teams. How are you, Anis?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. It's a bit chilly this side, but yeah, doing quite well. Looking forward to the game today.
You're also having a bit of a cold snap there.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. It was rather warm. We felt the telltale sign was that there was a warm wind blowing today, and then all of a sudden it just hit, and it's absolutely freezing.
So let's have a look at the playing 11s. There's some late winter cold fronts coming through here in South Africa, but over in Bristol. Let's start with Ireland. Their batting order: Paul Stirling, Andy Balbirnie, the captain, Lorcan Tucker. At number 3, Harry Tector, Gareth Delaney, George Dockrell, Curtis Campher, Mark Adair, Barry McCarthy, Andy Mcbride, and Josh Little are the 11 players. South Africa side: David Miller has a back spasm, so he misses out. Starting with Quinton de Kock and Reza Hendricks. The opening pair: Rassie van der Dussen in at 3, Aiden Markram, Heinrich Klaasen, Tristan Stubbs, Wayne Parnell, Dwayne Pretorius, Keshav Maharaj, the captain for South Africa today, Lungi Ngidi, and Tabrez Shamsi rounding out the 11. So, can Ireland spring a surprise here on the Proteas, Anis?
You see, that's the thing. And we should also mention this is one of the very rare occasions where we're having a T20 international, and it's not at a World Cup, where it's being played at a neutral venue. So that's also something that's very unique about today's game. But we can't write with Ireland. They've come very close in the past two series versus India and New Zealand, and they've given them scares. I'm just worried that we have as is tradition with the South African cricket team, is we don't start series that well, even though we did get off to the rocky start against England, we came back well, and just a week removed from that, it is the first game of a new series, and we do tend to start here at the beginning, or the Proteas rather do tend to start here at the beginning. So I'm holding thumbs that we don't become that statistic that allow Ireland to eventually just get over the line. They've come very close, very close, very, very close against India and New Zealand in the past two series. So anything can happen.
Yes, that's true. And the worst thing you can do in any sporting contest is underestimate your opponent. So let's hope that South Africa are on top of their preparations and their mental preparations, because Ireland will be up for this one. There's some blood in the water where South Africa is concerned. They've had a bad start, as you mentioned, against England, but those last two matches have been really cool, really great performances by some individual players. But if I were in the Ireland camp, if you get the wicket of a few key players in the side, namely de Kock, Hendricks, van der Dussen, and Stubbs,
it's game on.
You might find some vulnerabilities there, but the side looks good for South Africa. Let's see. I haven't been following Ireland very closely, but as you mentioned, they had some close finishes, some close games. So they've been scaring the bigger nations, shall we say, the first-tier nations. Let's hope this isn't one of them tonight. South Africa won the toss and they will bat first. So that's also interesting. We saw the ladies playing at this venue, and it's not a big ground. It's a county ground. It's not a huge stadium. So
we saw.
And it's a strange shaped ground as well. There's some nooks and crannies there that might flummox the fielders. So let's see.
It's going to be. It's a smaller ground. The ones and twos are going to be cutting that off because and you're getting your angles right as a captain. But also South Africa is going into this team a bit batting heavy. They're batting until 8, I think, with Keshav Maharaj being batting at 8. 9 rather. Let me just see. Yes. So they're batting. We're batting all the way down to they're batting down to 9. So this is a very batting heavy side. So I think that batting first is the right call because I don't know if these bowlers, besides Lungi and Utterbrace and Kesh, might struggle against this Irish batting lineup.
Yeah, it's going to be a question of who adapts first, who adapts the quickest, because there's not many matches played at this venue, international matches at least. So we'll see.
Ireland never played at this venue. Ireland haven't played at this venue. I think South Africa last played like a week ago. So they might know, unless they did something drastic to the pitch. South Africans should actually have the advantage of knowing the conditions a bit better. As we see the batters come out, Reeza Hendricks is in a great. As we talk about the batters, it's a tale of two cities basically. You have Reeza Hendricks who's in a rich vein of form, 350s on the trot in that series against England. So he's got a 50 in each of the games, and Quinton de Kock scored a total of 17 in the 3 games. So he's looking to get back into form. He's also 55 short of being the highest run scorer in T20I history for South Africa overall. So he'll be looking to improve. And I think this is just going to be the setup. This is one of 5 games left before the World Cup. So it's going to also play for people are playing for their spot in the side. These two games, and I think the final couple of T20s are going to be against India in India, but then I think they're going to take the squad that's going to the World Cup already. So a lot to play for some of the French players. Yeah.
Indeed, we have a good-looking squad to South Africa. There's one slip in. Third man inside the circle, 45 on the leg side inside the circle, and it will be Mark Adair. 45 matches, 64 wickets, economy of 7.29, 2 4-wicket hauls, and let's see his best figures. I couldn't quite catch that, so let's
4 for 23.
4 for 23 for Mark Adair. So take it away, Anis Mohammed, for the first delivery.
As he is at the top of his mark, and he's coming in now. Mark Adair steaming in, first ball up down the leg side, and will be called a wide. So not a legitimate delivery. 126 k's an hour. South Africa off the mark with a wide. First up, not the greatest start from Adair. But first ball in, probably a bit of nerves and jitters. But you international cricketers should be on the money first up. A bit of a loosener straight up. At the top of his mark now, turns past the umpire, and this one is a good length on a middle, just leaving Quinton de Kock, so swinging into the right-hander, and he has a bit of a prod at it, but goes past the off stump straight to the keeper for no run.
Much better delivery there from Adair. That one pitching on middle and leg, just going across the left-hander. Quinton de Kock looking very circumspect there. One without loss.
As comes in now, this one strays on the pads again, and this one clipped off the pads by Quinton de Kock down to fine leg, and they come through for 2. Quinton de Kock opens his account. South Africa move on to 3 for no loss. That second ball, such a great comeback, genuinely beat Quinton de Kock. But then third ball up to Quinton de Kock, just straying on his line again, just giving him a freebie down the leg side, especially with fine leg up. Is very dangerous. He's straying there, and he comes in again. This one again leg side. Is this one clipped a bit better? But there is cover on the deep square leg boundary. One of the 2 fielders allowed out during this first power play, and they come through for a single, very well hit by Quinton de Kock, and the score moves on to 4 for no loss.
Now, good timing there by de Kock, just backward of square on the leg side. There is protection on the boundary. So Adair not quite finding his lines and lengths here. Just that one delivery, and his right arm over now to the right-handed Reza Hendricks.
This one on the money this time. The perfect line would have been on Quinton de Kock's hips again, but this one is straight and a good line to Reza Hendricks, just tucking him up, and he defends to the leg side for no run.
Indeed, just back of a length, and Hendricks just defends this one into the onside for a dot ball.
Fantastic delivery to the right hander, but would have been a bit wideish to the left hander. This one again on the offside, darting into off stump and pushed into the covers where Reza Hendricks and Quinton de Kock scamper through for a quick single. The score is 5 for no loss with one ball to come in the first over.
Nice crisp running there between the wickets, just tip and run into the covers and sets off. Not enough pace on the ball to give the fielder a chance to get to the ball and effect the run out. Quinton de Kock safely through on the striker's end there.
And fantastic backing up from Quinton de Kock. Great match awareness. This one on the leg side again for Quinton de Kock, and it's worked down to a deep mid wicket where it is cleaned up by the deep back square, who had a long way to cover. And they come back to the score after the first over is 7 for no loss. Quinton de Kock on 5 of 4, and Reza Hendricks on 1 of 2. A decent start, just pushing everything around as Otto was saying. There are nooks and crannies, and that one went to one of those nooks, but deep backward square coming a long way across to cover it, to cut off the ball at the deep mid wicket boundary. So angles are going to be very important for pushing for runs in this innings for the Proteas.
So I think a good score on this ground for this team. South Africa need to hammer home their dominance. They need to get over 200 batting first to really put the pressure on Ireland. And then from Ireland's point of view, they need wickets because you mentioned South Africa bat all the way down to Keshav Maharaj at number 9. And it'll be Andy Mcbride. And he is going to be bowling right arm over the wicket to Reza Hendricks.
And this one is bowling some nice off spin as it was worked down to long on for a single. And
Mcbride
was 8 for 1. 8 for no loss, sorry.
Off-break bowler, 29 matches, 21 wickets, 2 for 7 is his best at an average of 18.86.
2 for 7. He's going to come around the wicket now to Quinton de Kock. That's an
Did I read that right? Yeah.
Against who?
Sure, I'll have to look that up for you. Let's see if I can do that while you give us the ball-by-ball action.
This one into the pads of Quinton de Kock, but Quinton de Kock plays straight back to Mcbride for no run. Not much of a turner. Oh, top of his mark. He's really rushing through his over, and he comes in again. And this one on a middle end leg, this one just sits up a bit. So Quinton de Kock just nudges it into the leg side, and they come through for another single, and the score comes to 9 for no loss. Quinton de Kock onto 6, as Sterling was the fielder coming around from square leg to pick up that one. Easy single there, just worked into the leg side. Average first innings total at this ground is 178. As comes in now to Reza Hendricks, who just bends this one back down the ground to where Mcbride cleans it up. And the score remains 9 for no loss. Now they're moving shortish mid-wicket to the covers. So that is a very ring field on the offside. And it is cut and straight to the man at point. And there is no run. So they've got they've got Gully, a point, 2 guys in the covers, and a mid-off. This one
so Andy
worked to the leg side where it's cleaned up along on for 1 run. 10 for 1 after 2.
So that 2 for 7 came against Papua New Guinea in 2016.
was about to say, because that's fantastic bowling. But Papua New Guinea, not known as one of the powerhouses in the cricket sphere.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They're working on it. Yeah.
ICC need to just pump some money into into them a bit, as we see Josh Little coming into the attack now. One day South Africa will have a little problem. Okay, no. Not as good as Coach Dave when it comes to the pun.
A bit of a problem.
A little bit of a problem. And
it was a good start by Mcbride, only 3 from his first over.
Great over there. I wonder if his name's like ironic, where he's actually really, really tall, but his name's Little. As it comes in now to receive a wide ball outside off, and it's called the wide left arm coming around, and it is a wide, and the score moves on to 11. Slip in place. I think we've got as soon as we see it again. Martin Saggers is the umpire, standing in his 12th T20 international, who called that wide. And
that was almost a no ball for being off the cut area of the wicket.
This one is wide outside off stump, giving Reza Hendricks some width, and he obliges and smashes it over, extra cover for 6. Bad start.
What a shot.
Fantastic shot by Reza Hendricks, who can't afford to give him width. He was waiting for that. He freed his arms off the middle of the bat, and it just sailed over extra cover for 6. Doesn't look like he hit it too hard, and it just flew off the middle of the bat for 6, nearly taking out the guy that's busy sweeping.
Just timing.
In the corner there. As he offers more width, and this one is slashed again over the same spot. This one runs away for 4. Little offering too much width to Reza Hendricks, and he obliges. That is 11 off this over so far, with 4 balls to come. That's because the first ball was a wide. Just lent into that one too.
He's bowling a horrible line here to Reza Hendricks. I mean, that ball, that last delivery almost bounced in line with the guidelines for wides as he comes left arm over the wicket to the right-hander.
Gets it a bit straighter. This one, that's the channel, and he beats Reza Hendricks outside off. Just 7th stump line outside off, still offering too much width to Reza Hendricks. But that one was a bit tighter, and it beat Reza Hendricks, who was chasing it away from his body, and just straight through to the keeper for no run.
Yeah, that's the line that Little has been looking for. He wants to pitch the ball about on off stump. That was still a bit wide to my liking, but going across the right-hander from the left-hander over the wicket.
This one wide again. Reza Hendricks plays a cross-batted drive, a square drive if you would, and it goes straight to deep point, and they come through for the single. 22 for no loss, with 2 balls to come. Quinton de Kock on strike now. We're going at a run of ball 6 off 6. Little's trying to get some movement back into the right-hander, so away from the left-hander. He's just not fine getting any of the lateral movement in the air, and the ball is certainly not seaming any. So he's just dollying it up straight across the right-hander batsman. Let's see if he can do something better against Quinton de Kock, and it's immediately a much better line. Short, plucking Quinton de Kock up outside off stump, and he just guides it to short third man for the single. Reza Hendricks is on strike 23 for no loss.
De Kock moves on to 7 of 7, and Hendricks is on 14 of 10 now, facing Little. And Josh Little.
Josh Little, yeah.
Left arm fast, medium for Ireland.
That's a much better line from Little on off stump, tucking Reza Hendricks up, not offering any room, and he guides it straight to point for no run, and the score is 23 for no loss after 3 overs. Quite the expensive over there, going for 13 in the end. After a great start from Mcbride, just throwing it away there, but he's seemed warmed up and he's pulled things back in the last couple of deliveries. As we look at the remainder of the tour, we look at the tour of England so far of South Africa. South Africa won the first ODI by 62 runs, losing the second rain-affected ODI by 118 runs, and then the third ODI was washed out. England won the first T20 by 41 runs, and then South Africa made a heck of a comeback, winning the second by 58 and thrashing England by 90 in the third. As this one, about a day, is pushed straight to mid-off by Quinton de Kock, and there's a shot at the Stubbs and a direct hit, and they're going upstairs. Quinton de Kock pushed that one straight to the field and tranced his arm. And there is a direct hit, and they're going upstairs. Quinton de Kock seems not phased at all. And now
he doesn't seem phased very often. He's always quite relaxed. So while we wait for that, thank you very much for listening. Our YouTube channel, One World Sports Radio, Facebook, One World Sports Radio. You can tweet us at Gorilla SA. That's GUERILLASA. And I think Quinton is gone.
Is gone. Oh no! Just about 5 centimeters, 10 centimeters short. Quinton de Kock looking nonplussed for maybe fake confidence, but Ireland have their first wicket, 23-1, and the rebuilding will start with Rassie van der Dussen. Quinton de Kock's torrid time in the middle is going to continue, running himself out. But as we see, he pushed straight to the fielder, and there was the direct hit. Fantastic bit of fielding there in the end by Tector to run Quinton de Kock out. He is gone for 7 of 8. And 7 of 8.
23 for 1.
No boundaries, a strike rate of 87.5. 23 for 1.
Yeah, that's
a bit disappointed for Quinton de Kock. But Rassie van der Dussen gets to have a go after being rested for the series against England. So, and he was in a rich vein of form with the bat in the ODIs. So maybe that can continue some more in the T20 game.
Yes, indeed. So Rassie usually takes a few deliveries to get going. And after about 10 or 12 balls, his figures tend to look really bad. So we see his best is 94 all out. Or not out, excuse me. 750s, strike rate of 130.3, 41 matches in T20 internationals. 1,030 runs. Hendrik will face a day.
Who pushes this one to the offside, and it goes down to deep backward point for a single. Rassie van der Dussen about to face his first ball. South Africa, 24 for 1, with 4 balls to come in the fourth over. Was that?
Was there a replay here? Yeah, Quinny just a little bit slow off the mark, taking on the fielder and coming off second best there. I mean, 9 times out of 10, a fielder. Well, that fielder was quite close to the wickets there. I mean, international cricket, you're going to hit the wickets if you're playing for your country from that distance. And good work there by Tector. Truly running himself out there, Quinny.
A day into Rassie van der Dussen, who tries to play 4 defensive, and the ball just pops up, hits him on the glove, and dribbles safe to the leg side for no run. Yeah, I think Quinton it was the run on. I guess Tector must have seen it, thought that Tector was further away than he was.
Yeah, you could see as he started running, he was sort of jogging, and then he started to get the gas on as he saw the ball going straight to Tector there at mid-off.
As Adair comes into Rassie van der Dussen and beautifully driven through the offside, through extra cover for 4. That was sweet as a whistle. Oh, just drop the bat all the way along the ground. There's no need to run for that. It's a thing of beauty, not hitting it too hard, all in the rest. Textbook cover drive for 4.
Now, just past the man there at a shortish extra cover, but it went a little bit through the air past that fielder. And Van der Dussen, what a shot.
This one back in, great comeback from Adair, and this one just cutting Rassie Van der Dussen a bit, hitting the inside half of the bat and dribbling to the leg side, where Adair runs in and cleans up. 28-1 is the score, with 2 to come, I think, in this over. Which would be 1 to come, one to come in this over. Rassie Van der Dussen and strike now as Adair is steaming in. Past the umpire, this one is short of a length on the off stump, making Rassie Van der Dussen look a bit uncomfortable. Dribbles to the leg side where there's a lot of vacant real estate, and they come through for the single. Rassie Van der Dussen will retain the strike. South Africa move on to 29-1, and Rassie Van der Dussen moves on to 5-4, and Reza Hendricks is on 15 off 12.
And I have to correct myself. South Africa actually played their first T20 against England here at Bristol, or there at Bristol, where they lost. Just have a look at that game. See what the score was there. So it's an okay start so far by South Africa. 29-1 after 4. So just about 7 runs, just past 7 runs and over, which is not too bad.
I think the plan.
Barry McCarthy into the attack. 23 matches, 20 wickets.
McCarthy past the umpire, drives down the leg side, and it is flicked down to deep mid wicket by Rassie Van der Dussen in the air, I might say, but it bounces well short. It would have been regulation mid wicket would have been in business there, but because the offside heavy field, there was no one there. They've got a short fine leg, a mid off, a cover, backward point, short third man, a slip, as this one is to Reza Hendricks is on the off stump and is pushed to the offside, and they think better of taking a run. The score remains 30-1 after 4.2.
Good energy in the field from Ireland. Everybody running in to get to that ball. They look very energetic, very upbeat.
And Ireland, they don't get a lot of chances against the big teams, and they want to stake a name for themselves and put on a good performance. As McCarthy is in now again, drifting on the legs of Reza Hendricks, and this one is worked to the leg side where it's cleaned up by at deep mid wicket again, and they come through for 32-1 now. That was 133 k's an hour by McCarthy. Just above the level where we say that was quick. But not really. That was really quick. No, I'm no kidding.
So on the 27th of July, England scored 234 for 6 on this ground. Not sure if it was the same wicket.
Is whipped away by Reza Hendricks in the air into the vacant deep mid wicket area, and it goes for 4. Reza Hendricks onto 21. His good run of form continuing, just whipped from his leg stump, and is sent into the outfield. 1 bounce 4, and that is a good shot played across the line, and it just too straight by the bowler.
Nobody out there on that boundary, low risk shot. Later in the game, that will be a wicket.
Yeah, McCarthy in now, and a short mid wicket now in. They might have been listening to me. The short mid just bounces short of short mid wicket, and the score remains 36-1 after 4.5 overs. If we look at the ball previously, it was just a touch fuller in Reza Hendricks' hitting zone, and he took full advantage of that. He's playing with such confidence at the moment. Really trying to stake his claim to that World Cup squad.
There's a bit of a breeze there at the ground. You can see the shirts fluttering there around Reza Hendricks' upper body.
McCarthy in again. This one strays down the leg side, trying a slower ball, and it is going to be called a wide. That's the third wide of the innings, as McCarthy just trying to change things up just a little bit, as we see Aiden Markram trying to get into the zone.
Got some dust in his eye. He's got some eye drops there. Aiden Markram next to the ground. Looks a bit chilly. Everybody wearing their sweatshirts.
That was interesting from McCarthy. Tries to drop it short. It didn't come up at all. And Riza Hendricks had to play a check pull around his waist in order to get it away. But it beats short fine leg, and it is cleaned up by Deepak and Square. And it come through for a single 38 for 1 in that over. That last over went for my maths has failed me. That was McCarthy's first over. So I'm guessing.
No, so it's 7-8-9 off that over.
8-9, yeah.
So McCarthy has played 23 matches, 20 wickets, 4 for 30 is his best, average of 35.7.
Yeah, the latest. The next assignment is against Afghanistan in playing at home. They're playing 5 T20 internationals against Afghanistan, and that's going to be their bread and butter. Afghanistan can't be written off as too much of a minnow, especially in T20 cricket anymore. Because Afghanistan is very competitive in T20 cricket currently. Some of their bowlers. Mcbride is back in the attack, and this one's a bit short, and it is pushed away by Riza Hendricks down to the boundary where it's cleaned up, and they come through for 2. Yes, they come through.
Extra cover fumbling there.
Just beat
Misfield.
Really have been stopped. It just bounced through his hands.
That bounced on the square there. One of the wickets. Surprised the fielder with an extra bounce.
Riza Hendricks dancing down the wicket now, playing this one a lot safer down to deep mid wicket for a single 41 for 1. That's all the boundary fielders on the leg side. They got a deep mid wicket and a wideish long on. So Mcbride's going to be attacking the stumps theoretically, because this is the last over of the power play. As Fernandez now, this one is dropped short and it beats square leg, and it just races to the square leg boundary for 4. Mcbride dropping it short again, and the ball just sitting up for Rassie van der Dussen. Not really sitting up for Rassie van der Dussen. It just died in the pitch, and Rassie van der Dussen had to get down on one knee and play across the line, a sweep shot. And this one is, this one is on off stump, turning into Rassie van der Dussen, who tries to work it to the leg side and just finds an outside edge, and it is caught at short third man. Mcbride gets his man. South Africa 45 for 2. Just not. It was a bit because he was working it to the leg side and just found the outside edge, bottom off of the bat, and straight to short third man. That's the end of Rassie van der Dussen.
It's a good delivery there by Mcbride, caught by Josh Little at short third man. Rassie van der Dussen goes for 10 off 7, strike rate of 142.9. And he hit 2 4s and no 6s. Strike rate of 142.85 there for Rassie van der Dussen. South Africa 45 for 2. Ireland are smiling. Irish eyes are smiling.
Yeah, they got.
So that was a strange-looking delivery by Mcbride, because it looked like he bowled a variation on his off break.
Yeah,
Rassie looking for the ball to come in, and it just popped off the leading edge out to short third man.
Yeah, and it was darting into off stump, so Rassie had to play at it. And so but work it to the leg side, finding that outside, finding that leading edge, and just running to the short third man. As Aiden Markram comes to the wicket, he's looking to cement, one of the players looking to cement his place in that World Cup squad. He did an interview saying that he's even willing to drop down the order for the Test series if it's asked of him, as this one from Mcbride is dropped a bit short again, and it is worked down to long on for a single. The score is 46 for 2 after with one ball to come in the 6th over and the final ball of the power play.
Ireland are in this. They're up for a fight.
Mcbride in again, short of a length this time on middle and off, and work down to long on for a single, 47 for 2 after the power play. Who I would say that advantage Ireland. Ireland would be happy with their power play going at less than 7 and over, just less than 7 and over,
less than 8
2 wickets. I would say that they won that little battle, the first 6 overs.
Yeah, just below 8 runs and over there.
Yeah.
So it's a good scoring rate from South Africa, but judging by what England were able to do, and indeed South Africa also scoring 193 the last time they played at this ground, it's definitely Ireland that would be feeling good with those 2 wickets that they got. They need 7 more to get rid of all of South Africa's batters, or to be into the tail. And rid of the recognised batsman. Josh Little coming back into the attack, bowling his second over. He's gone for 13. So, yes, it's a battle here. It's back and forth. Yeah. South Africa will be happy with the run rate. I'm happy with the run rate, but
not the wickets.
The wickets, yeah.
Little in now, past the umpire, offering so much from Teresa Hendricks, and he just plays this one past backward point, 4-4, with absolute ease, just guiding it there, width offered, width taken, and Teresa Hendricks isn't missing out. And I think South Africa are going to want to bat deep and launch early. Maybe they start launching from the 12th. But yeah, that was just too wide from Little, and just through gully for 4, just guided. No effort really from Reza Hendricks. This one again is short outside off. Reza Hendricks pulls his bat away, and it is not a wide. Short outside off. Reza Hendricks stops his shot, and it goes through to the keeper for no run.
So that 4 brought South Africa's 50 up in 6.1 overs, and the run rate now 8.05 after that dot ball. 51 for 2. And 141, 142 kph here for Little.
This one on leg stump, and it's hit straight. Oh, nearly caught it short, fine leg, but helped. It was short on Reza Hendricks' hip, and he played the pull shot, went for it, and nearly guided it straight to short fine leg, but beat him, and it runs away for 4. Little won't be too upset with that, because he was in for it was a chance.
Let's see. We can see if that bounced short. The camera work isn't great, so we can't see where that ball bounced.
Reza Hendricks works this one too deep mid-wicket. It was on his legs and just worked down to deep mid-wicket, a slower one. I think that was at 120 k's an hour. And so the score moves on to 256 for 2. Aiden Markram on strike, ready to face his first ball of Josh Little, who is bowling quickly, getting it into the 140s. He is now coming over the wicket.
Yeah, left hand round the wicket to the right-handed Markram, new to the wicket.
Comes in now, this one darting into the middle end leg, and Aiden Markram just rides the bounce and pushes it to the leg side and gets off strike, and the score moves on to 57 for 2.
So, Backpackers Kerala on YouTube, sending us some love. Thank you very much. We love you too. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate all the support. And we can see all the people watching us and listening to us. Really makes it worthwhile to stay up late in the cold.
As this one is outside off, and Reza Hendricks just guides it straight to short. The man for no run, 57 for 2 at the end of 7 overs. Reza Hendricks on 35 and Aiden Markram on 2.
Yeah, so just over 8 runs and over here for South Africa. Is that going to be enough, Anis? Looking at that score that England posted against us in July, at the end of last month.
It's a good foundation, but they're going to have to go for it. And I think they're going to have to go early if they want to really put the markers on Ireland, and just to feel safe, just with the extra 20-30 runs, getting it over 210. I think that they're going to have to go from 12 just to up the tempo a bit, and they're going to start having to hit really big. But we know that they do have the batters to do that. Aiden Markram's not that much of a slouch himself when it comes to big hitting, and we know what Riese Hendricks can do, and Tristan Stubbs down the order as well. As we get a change of bowling, as Dockrell comes in, and is just worked neatly by Aiden Markram to the leg side, and they come through for the single. 58 for 2 is the score. Riese Hendricks is on strike now. Dockrell in again, past the umpire, and this one is on leg stump. Riese Hendricks misses out, hits the pad, and there is no run.
George Dockrell playing his 99th match, 78 wickets, best of 4 for 20, average of 21.8.
It's good average, as this one is outside off, and it's just popped up in the air, and it runs away for 4. Popped up in the air over extra cover. Riese Hendricks didn't give it a full-blooded drive, but looked like a chip shot that he timed very well. And it just a couple of bounces safely for 4.
Yeah, so the wind is blowing from the offside to the leg side for the right-hander. So that one was up in the air against the wind.
This one is
in Bristol.
Dropped down and short-ish and pulled by Riese Hendricks, beating short right leg, and runs away for 4. So that's 8. That's 8 of this over. So 9 of this over so far, with 2 balls to come. Are they going to go early? Will they be able to get to 70 after this? At the end of this over, Dockrell just staying in his line and length, trying too many things. As he loops this one, as this one is up in the air again, full safe, and it's cleaned up by a deep cover. And they come through for a single. So that's 10 of this over with 1 ball to come. Job done, Riese Hendricks.
Yeah, last ball of the 8th over here. George Dockrell not bowling well at all. Dragging stuff down, not bowling the correct line and length at all. Markram facing on 3 of 3.
And he pushes this one off the back foot to the leg side, where Dockrell has to run all the way to mid-wicket to clean up, and they come through for the single. 68 for 2 after 8. Riese Hendricks on 44, 6 away from his 4th 50 in a row, and Aiden Markram off 4 of 4.
Let the record show that you mentioned the 50, not me. Yes, so Hendricks 44 of 29, Markram 4 of 4. That last delivery by Dockrell was much better, with the left arm line coming around the wicket to the right-hander, and aiming at that middle and leg stump line, trying to straighten the ball onto the stump, so forcing the batter to play. Barry McCarthy back for his second over. He's conceded 9 in his first.
This one to Riese Hendricks outside. Oh, to Aiden Markram, sorry. And he just works this one to the offside, where it's cleaned up by deep cover for a single. 69, hey, for 2 after 8.1. Riese Hendricks on strike now.
69 for 2 indeed. That one finds the fielder, the sweeper on the cover boundary. McCarthy lucky to get away with that one, if you ask me.
This one is on a leg stump. It just sits up nicely for Riese Hendricks. It seems like it was a slower one, and he works this one to the leg side. 70 for 2. Looking at the projected totals, and if they go at 8.4, which is the current run rate, they'll get to 168. They go at 10 and over, they'll get to 187. And if they go at 12, they'll get to that 210 mark we were talking about earlier. So they're going to have to really start launching soon if they want to get to that 210. 4 balls to come in the ninth over. This one right outside off and beaten is Aiden Markram. Outside off stump, straight to the keeper. Fantastic delivery by McCarthy. The score remains 70 for 2. What for me, Aiden Markram just looking to just looking to accelerate things now. But he's not in yet. You should just be feeding strike to Riza Hendricks at the moment, who seems to be going full guns, and he seems to be seeing it like a beach ball as McCarthy comes in again past the umpire. This one is on leg stump, much easier to play. Lots of open ground there, and they come through for the single. 71 for 2 is the score. If they go,
this is good for Ireland. The dot balls, stringing together dot balls and singles. That's great in a T20 international. That's exactly what they would want.
I think, it's going to this partnership 26 of 18, not bad at all. As Riza Hendricks now scoping up the field as they've dropped third man down. That is good to see. And McCarthy in and cut well, and it beats the fielder by 6 third man, and the cover coming around, and he moves on to 49, and that's 4. South Africa move on to 75 for 2 with 1 ball to come in the 9th over.
Very exquisitely executed back foot cut shot there by Riza Hendricks. Good looking shot there. That's what South Africa need. They need every second or third ball to be a boundary, and the rest singles and twos. These dot balls and singles are not going to work.
Work to the big side as Riza Hendricks brings up his 54th in a row.
Hey!
South Africa move on to 76 for 2. And that's the
well
end
done,
of the
Riza.
This is the last over of our stint when we will be relieved by Ken, and the chocolatey sounds a little bit lower. The velvety chocolatey sounds.
Indeed. Riza Hendricks, 50 of 32, 7 fours and 1 6 with a strike rate of 156.25.
Just happy I didn't jinx him.
His 4th 50 on the bounce on this tour.
So that just form alone, that he put his hand up in a big way to be part of that World Cup.
No, he's definitely in it. Who else? Who else at this point?
Well, he's cemented his name. We know that Delaney's coming in to bowl his Gareth Delaney coming into bowl his first over. KG will be in, Lungi will be in. Keshav, the Brave Shams.
No, but I mean as an opener. As an opening bat. Riza Hendricks is there.
Yeah, he's there. Denver at 3, I guess. As Delaney in, bowling some leg spin and beats Hendricks. Just drifting down leg. That one beats him, hits the pad, and there is no run. 76 for 2. As an opener, it's just Quinton and Riza and Riley Rousseau can open. As this one is dropped short, and Riza Hendricks swats it away with disdain, and only manages to find a fielder at long on for a single. 77 for 2. No one else comes to mind.
The Cox place is probably more at risk than Riza Hendricks is. We see a replay there, that ball going down leg side, bouncing too high to be an LBW.
Markram now on strike, and it plays a back foot drive to deep extra cover, and they come through for a single. 78 for 2. So the openers is going to be Temba Bavuma and someone, or it's going to be Quinton and Riza, and then Temba moves to 3. As this one is dropped short again and swatted and played well in between long on and mid wicket, and it runs away for 4. Riza Hendricks seeing it like a beach ball, just rocking onto the back foot and playing a fantastic pull shot for 4 in front of square for 4. That just tells you that he saw that ball early and was quick on the shot, directing it in front of square for 4.
Jordan says, thanks for the lovely commentary. Keep up the lovely job, guys. Thank you, Jordan, for your support. We do appreciate it.
This one, it drifts down leg side again. It just beats Riza Hendricks. And there is a no run. 82 for 2 is the score with 2 balls left in the 9th over. Ball Bernie is the one cleaning up the ball, giving a bit of a shine. Oh, they're going up. They're going for the review of Ireland. That one looked to be going down leg side, but going down, missing leg stump a bit of. Well, from the naked eye, it looked like it was missing leg stump, but I was wrong because I earlier on saying Quinton de Kock looked safe and looked nonplussed. And this one beat. You can see all three pairs. Oh my!
There might be a scratch on that.
Which is in line.
Very close to the bat.
Very close to the bat. Hits him on the back leg. If he didn't get an inside edge, no edge.
Ooh.
This might be in business. He crashes into the back leg. I think this might be hitting leg stump. I think we might be seeing the end of Riza Hendricks.
Or it might be sliding down, just clipping leg.
Because we can see
all
three stumps are visible. Hit him impact in line, and umpire's call, and the original call was not out. So Riza Hendricks survives. 2 balls
played all around that one. Almost beat him through the gate.
Yeah.
And if that ball was a bit straighter, it would have caught the inside of the bat.
Yeah.
And if his back leg was just a little bit off the line of that ball, it would have cannoned into the stumps off his pad. So that was a lucky escape there for Hendricks on 55 of 36. He's facing Delaney in again.
Last ball drops this short outside off, and it is cut and well fielded by Sterling. And that's the end of the over. 82 for 2 after 10. South Africa are poised to put on a big score, but they're going to have to start motoring as the teams seem to be taking a drinks break. It's being joined by Ken.
Hello, Mr. Borland.
Hello, good evening, Elise. Good evening, Otto. You can't be not out by less of a margin than Riza Hendricks was on that last review. I reckon just a couple of stitches on the ball, on the seam, outside, hitting the outside of legs, hitting outside leg stump. That was incredibly unlucky for Ireland not to get that wicket, but it means we get to keep seeing Riza Hendricks bat, and how beautifully he's batting as well.
Yeah, he is really. I thought I put the markers on him when he was on 44. And I was just praying, don't let him beat me.
Jordan says Aiden's place is secured, I think, guys.
Oh no.
That's a big call.
It's going to be between.
No, I think it's. No, I don't think so.
Do you agree with that?
You've got to have a six. You've got to have a six bowler in your team.
Okay.
A guy who can bat and bowl, and Markram's the only guy really within the batting lineup who can do that. So I think the number 4 position is his.
Do you think that South Africa went in a bit batting heavy this game?
No, I think the balance is fine. I mean, they've got the 6 bowler in Markram. What is interesting is they're playing 2 all-rounders in Parnell and Pretorius. So you've got Lungi and Gidi.
Yeah, they're probably doing that because
there's not that much pace in the attack.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. But it'll be very interesting to see how Wayne Parnell goes with the new ball. He can swing it around a bit. And I'm very pleased that he's getting a go.
Yeah,
all right.
I would think that.
And then Jordan also says, with a bit of bias, Quinny stays in my team despite the bad run of form. His glove work's been okay.
Yeah, look, they're not going to drop. they're not going to drop the cock. Not so close to the World Cup. His form is temporary, class is permanent, as they say, and then they'll be banking on him coming good.
So, Mr. Borland,
the second half,
take ball by ball for us, and then we'll hang around with you until we are relieved. And Anis, you're welcome to drop off if you like.
And it's the South African-born Curtis Comfer who's into the attack, bowling to Aiden Markram, who drives handsomely off the back foot through the cover point area. The sweeper comes around, and he will keep it to 2 runs, 2 more for Markram. So he goes to 9 off 9, the total 84 for 2. So Reza Hendricks, a 32-ball half-century by him, and he's just played so beautifully both through and over the offside as Comfers, and again, that's down leg side, and it will be caught a wider. The wicketkeeper's missed it as well, so it's going to be 5 wides for the 4 byes plus a wide, but it's counts as wides rather than byes.
Well, it's a bad fumble there by the keeper. Costly mistake.
Yeah, he seemed to have it covered, Otto. He got behind it. He got both gloves there. Maybe just didn't bend his back enough. Comfort, and again, back of a length. Markram works this off his hip through mid-wicket. And this will just be a single. 90 for 2.
Curtis Comfort playing his 16th match. 16 wickets, best of 4 for 25, average of 24.69.
Is that the game you got a hat trick in, Otto? Or 4 wickets at 4 balls, wasn't
it?
When you got that 4 for 25.
So. Yeah, that's right.
He's bowling now to Reza Hendricks. Again, he strays down leg side, and again, the wicketkeeper makes a bit of a meal of that, does Lorcan Tucker. And it's going to be a wide again. So Tucker being a bit messy, but it's not going against his name at the moment.
Let me just check for you. I do recall that match. I remember watching that. T20s.
Comfort into Markram. Short bouncer, quicker, and Markram flaps at it and misses. That was a good change up in pace by Curtis Comfer.
Now that was in the match versus the Netherlands in last year. That for you.
Comfer's in again to Markram, who punches off the back foot down to long off, and they'll take another single. Markram goes to 11, and the total is 93 for 2.
He bowled 4 for 26 in 4 overs against the Netherlands in Abu Dhabi on the 18th of October last year.
So that's not his best then. His best was 4 for 25. So he's taken 4 for a couple of times as Comfer is in again to Hendricks, leg side. Hendricks scoops this over square leg, and the man on the boundary will do the fielding, just a single. 94 for 2. This pitch is very different to the one on which South Africa played England last week. It's a bit of a slow seamer. The ball is not coming on quite as well. So I don't think we should be expecting to see such massive totals as we did in that game. Comforting and back of the leg, Markram drives loosely, and it's on the bounce to backward point. And that will end the 11th over, 94 for 2.
He bowled 4 for 25 in 4 overs against the United States at Lauderhill on the 23rd of December 2021. Bowled a maiden in that game as well. Interesting.
Okay, so he's had a couple of 4-wicket hauls.
So when he has a good day, he has a really good day. But,
he does strike one as...
Yeah?
He does strike one as being one of those sort of bowlers who gets on a roll. If he gets a couple of wickets, he's likely to get a couple more. So 11 overs gone, 94 for 2, and the leg spinner Delaney is going to continue to Reza Hendricks. Back with leg, Hendricks chops this down into the pitch in front of him, and the bowler is quickly across to do the fielding. No run.
Delivery's coming thick and fast here with the spinners.
Gareth Delaney bowling the second ball of his second over to Hendricks on 56. Too short. Hendricks pulls it. He's got it in the gap between cow corner and mid-wicket. 4 more runs to Reza Hendricks.
Yes. What a shot. That was just punishing the bad ball. Hendricks on 60 now. 40.
Yeah, he picked his gap very well there. He had enough time to do it. A really wretched long hop from Delaney. Delaney in again to Hendricks. That's better. Well flighted. Hendricks on the back foot and pops us into the covers, and they will come through for a quick single. 99 for 2 now, South Africa, and these two have gone past their 50 partnership with that boundary by Hendricks 2 balls ago. They've now added 54 off just 37 balls. Delaney out to Markham, well flighted down the pitch, lofts this beautifully straight down the ground for 4. 6, I beg your pardon, it's gone all the way.
It was signalled a 6, but I think they might change that to a 4. It did bounce.
My first impression was 4, but
you were right. Yeah, you were right.
It's hit. No, I think it's hit the covers on the 4, so that's 6. And this is short again from Delaney. Markham goes back and heaves it, but rather loses his shape, and it's bottom edged out to deep square leg for a single. 106 for 2 now. Markham on to 18 or 15 balls.
South Africa's 100 up in 11.4 overs for the loss of 2 wickets. Run rate 8.75 at the moment.
As Reza Hendricks just punches this one from Delaney down to long off for a single. So 107 for 2 after 12 overs. I guess Otto, South Africa could still get to 200. Things go well.
Yeah, the statistical halfway mark, 12 overs, double the score, 214, and this 60-run partnership between these two batters of 6.2 overs at a run rate of 9.47 feels like it was going slowly, but really stepping up the pace now. The second 50 coming off 33 balls, the first one off 37 for South Africa. It felt like they were crawling along, but somehow they managed to score at 9+ and over, so that's great. Hendricks on strike, McCarthy in.
Yeah. Here's McCarthy, right arm over. It's a good length that, and Hendricks can just pop it into the leg side down towards long on. They're coming back for the second. It's a good throw to the wicketkeeper, but excellent running by Reza Hendricks. He's back for 2, 64 off 43. I think, Otto, just to add to your point, I think where South Africa's batting lineup does very well is that in this innings they've just hit 9 4s and a 6, and yet the run rate is up at 8.5 to the over, because they're very good at getting the 1s and 2s in between the boundaries. Whereas maybe a team like England and the West Indies spring to mind a bit too 4-4 and then a few dots, as this is a slower ball bouncer from McCarthy, and Hendricks is slightly fooled by it, but he manages to get it out towards square leg for a single.
And the Irish are really shooting themselves in the foot here a little bit. They're bowling those release balls every now and then. Other than that, the bowling has been okay. It's not been shockingly bad. They started off a bit shakily with a few nerves visible. A few mistakes in the field.
As Barry McCarthy is in to Markham, who gives himself room outside leg stump and steers this superbly over short third man. And that might also have gone all the way. It has. Umpire Martin Saggers raises his arms for extraordinary 6 by Aidan Markram.
It was almost a dull scoop kind of punch. So he just angled the bat and just whacked it like you would trying to dislodge something with your bat rather than hit the ball through the line or anything like that. Just spanked it.
This is a attempted slow ball bouncer from McCarthy. It doesn't really get up, and Markram has to wait and wait and wait, and then eventually he paddles it out towards cow corner for a single. 117 for 2. Markram has 25 off 17.
2 balls to go in the 13th over. South Africa's run rate now 9, just over 9. So that's excellent work by the South Africans.
Yeah, Markram is certainly providing the acceleration that you'd want from your number 4 batsman. McCarthy in another slower ball bouncer, and Reza Hendricks just forehands it down to cow corner for another single. Hendricks has really he's kept a good pace throughout his innings. There's been no let up in momentum from him.
Shibu Mokhalane agrees with you, Ken. Thanks for nice batting, Proteas. Thanks, Doc. Markram. Thumbs up for Markram's batting.
Let's see how he goes now. He's down the wicket to McCarthy and working this wide of long on. They'll come back for 2. It's good placement by Markram.
Indeed.
And the end of the 13th over, 120 for 2. Markram is 27 and Reza Hendricks on 66. Otto, you said 12 overs is the statistical halfway mark in T20. I'm sure you remember Trevor Quirk's golden rule for one-day cricket, that you double the score after 30 overs. And
yes.
I've never really thought about it for T20s, but 12 overs would seem to be a pretty fair point.
Apparently, that is the equivalent mark in T20s. I heard it somewhere. I can't remember where. So usually you can double the score after 12, and that's where you end up. So that would put South Africa onto 214, which should be enough. But Ireland will have something to say about that, I'm sure.
As Little is continuing, left arm over to Reza Hendricks, who just fends us away towards mid-wicket. The bowler himself will field, and they threw for a single. So the last 7 overs of the innings, Ireland have plenty of options. They've used 7 bowlers already, and Barry McCarthy is the only one who's bowled 3 overs so far. Josh Little is busy bowling his 3rd right now.
Now they've been chopping and changing the bowlers. So Little comes in.
Little to Markram, who he lofts this beautifully over mid-wicket, and that is a big 6 runs. It's out the ground, I think. It's bouncing around in the street outside the county ground in Bristol.
No, that was just pure timing, and not a bad ball, really. Maybe a little bit overpitched, a bit too full, but Markram just picked that up. He stepped onto his off stump and just lifted that off his middle stump, and it went absolutely soaring through the air. That was a beautiful looking shot there. That's the kind of shot that makes the bowler think, really, is this my... Makes you reevaluate your life choices as a bowler when you see somebody smacking you over mid-wicket like that. Jeez, that was a good-looking shot.
Yeah, majestic by Markram. I think for one thing, Little needs to reevaluate bowling over the wicket, because he hasn't bowled particularly well, the left armer, over the wicket. He switched to around the wicket for a few deliveries that went better for him, but he's gone back to over the wicket, and already he's taking a bit of tap in this over. The partnership now 82 of just 48 balls. And Markram on 33 off 19. He faces again Little, and he's hit him straight down, back over his head. It just clears a deep mid-on and will run away for 4.
So 11 runs off the first 3 deliveries. And mid-on was up. And Markram, I don't know if Markram spotted that, but if he did, well done. He played it so straight that even a wideish mid-on might have struggled to run around and catch that. Good looking shot there, 131 for 2.
Little into Markram, short, and Markram's on the pull, and it's massive again. It's out the ground again, I fancy. 6 more, second 6 of the over.
4 balls.
A spectator
in the 14th over.
A spectator has retrieved it just before it went out the ground. So well done to the man in the black shirt. I fancy it's probably a Guinness shirt, given that Ireland are playing today.
4 balls in the 14th over, 17 runs, and 16 of them coming off the bat of Aiden Markram. He's absolutely dismissing this bowling by Josh Little. And Josh Little is just feeding him. It's just on that, yeah.
He's got to change things. He's got to come around the wicket, but he's still over the wicket, and he's being pummeled again. 1 bounce for by Aiden Markram, this time in between long on and cow corner.
Will this over ever end for Josh Little? 141 for 2. And it's now 21 runs off Josh Little's 3rd over. That one was too short. On middle, dragged down short. Maybe try to bowl a cutter or something into the wicket.
Little in again to Markram. This is outside or stump, and Markram slashes it in cavalier fashion, but it's on the bounce to deep cover. So this time, Markram will just get a single, which takes him to 48 off just 23 balls. 142 for 2 after 14 overs.
Swashbuckling with the Dhoni helicopter wrist action thrown in for good measure. Markram steps away, and Shibu Mokhalane says again and again, wow, Markram, with some laughing emojis, starry eyes, and love for the South African number 4. And geez, when Markram comes off, when he gets going, he really looks good. I mean, he looks like one of those guys that just straight out of the textbook. If the creators of cricket imagined how somebody should bat, that's what he looks like when he gets going.
He can really destroy attacks, so that's why South Africa want him in that number 4 position. As you say, when he's on song, he's a hell of a batsman. Curtis Comfer, it's a full toss to Aiden Markram, which he's a little bit surprised by a slower ball full toss, and he just paddles it down to deep backward square leg for a single. He goes to 49 off just 24 balls. Markram, of course, made an unbeaten half-century in his last game, the series winning victory over England in Southampton.
And at last, Reza Hendricks will say, I'm back on strike. 67 or 46 as he faces Comfer.
That's quite a brisk short ball from Comfer. Hendricks tries to ramp it over the wicketkeeper, but makes no contact. Again, Comfer just showing good changes of pace.
Yeah, thanks for all your comments, Shibu and Jordan. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. You can post comments on our Facebook and YouTube channels, and you can also tweet us at Gorilla SA.
This is back of a length from Comfer, and Hendricks stays leg side and punches it to the deepest cover, and they'll dash you for a single. He goes to 68, 144 for 2, South Africa.
And the whole of Ireland says thank you to Curtis Comfer for calming down the South Africans here. Markram is back on strike, 49 off 24, 144 for 2, 3 balls to go in the 15th.
Comfer, and Markram gives himself room outside leg stump. Comfer follows him, good bowling, and Markram could only steer it down to fine leg for a single, and that brings up a 25-ball half-century for Aidan Markram. Fiery stuff. And 100 partnership off just 56 balls.
Wow. That is amazing by Markram. 2 4s and 4 6s. 200 strike rate, as you said, Ken, there, and he's 20 runs short of his highest score. The 100-run partnership, 9.1 overs, run rate of 10.9. South Africa 145 for 2. With the last 5 overs, 63 without loss. Yes.
As Comfort has bowled a bouncer to Reza Hendricks, which he has a hook at, but cannot make any contact with.
So Hendricks, with an excellent innings of 68 or 49, is looking a bit slow in comparison all of a sudden, but he's really playing an anchor role here. Now he just needs to feed the strike to Markram, and be there. Maybe hit out here to get Stubbs in or something.
Comfort in short to Hendricks. He swivels on the pull shot down to fine leg, and it'll just be 1. He goes to 69 or 50. No, I think Hendricks, there are only 5 overs left. You want to go from both ends, but definitely a runner ball. So if Hendricks doesn't feel he can get a boundary, as you say, he should certainly put Markram on strike, who is exploding here. 50 not out of 25 balls. 15 overs gone, 146 for 2. And South Africa will very definitely be targeting 200 here. Some big hitters still to come in Heinrich Larsson and Tristan Stubbs. The all-rounders, Parnell and Proteas.
Yeah, I mean, this is an excellent, don't get me wrong, this is an extra special Reza Hendricks innings, and he's in form, and he was man of the series against England, well deserved. But geez, can we wish for more? Can we ask for more? Can he maybe target those boundaries a little bit more aggressively, and then let's see what score we can get to? Yeah.
No, I think he's done the perfect job. I mean, he's set it up. He's set it up for Markram to come in and really bash it around. As Delaney bowls a full toss to Hendricks, and there's the boundary you wanted, Otto. He's placed it beautifully between cow corner and wide long on. So 4 runs to Hendricks to start the 16th over.
150 for 2 up in 15.1 overs for South Africa. Run rate now 9.84 as we see the next delivery.
It's full from Delaney, and Hendricks slaps it down to long on just for a single.
Musa Boss says 200 on the cards, mates. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your comments. Markram on strike.
Delaney, the leg spinner. Markram comes down the pitch and launches him high and handsome, way over long on. And that is another spectacular 6 by Aidan Markram.
Fetch that, says Markram. Ireland will be. This is. What is this, like a tri-series, or are they just playing against South Africa in England?
Just 2 matches, yeah.
Reason? Yeah. But they would be missing
Delaney
the in, of home, surely.
Into Markram. Quicker and flatter. Markram down the pitch. Lost this into the leg side, but he's picked up cow corner. Oh, what a pity. He didn't really put his full muscle behind that shot. You felt he was trying to place it more than belt it. And he has picked out cow corner.
And we welcome back Anis, and thank you, Anis. I will take a break, and I'll be back with you in a while.
No problem.
So 56 of 27 balls by Aidan Markram, and he deserves great credit for fulfilling exactly the sort of role the Proteas want from their number 4 batsman. Given a really good platform by Reza Hendricks, Markram has come in and really accelerated 5 sixes in that innings. A wonderful knock on East Mohammed.
Definitely coming in and stamping the Proteas authority on this game. South Africa just have to finish now with 4 overs left. Maybe get that 200, get 210.
Yeah, I definitely think 200 is... Sorry, Anis?
One of the commenters on YouTube says 100 in the last 5 overs.
Not too sure we'll get there. As, oh no, especially as Reza Hendricks is out the next ball. He's leant back and cut Gareth Delaney, and Paul Sterling diving forward at backward point has taken a good catch, so that's a real blow for South Africa. Hendricks goes the ball after Markram for 74, 53 balls.
Hendricks is livid with himself. You can see the anguish on his face. He's gone 74 or 53, strike rate of 139.6. South Africa from 157 for 4 or for 2 have dropped to 157 for 4 with 2 new batsmen in there. Both of them not having faced the ball yet. Tristan Stubbs makes his way to the wicket.
Yeah, I suppose it's a good test though of what Heinrich Klaasen and Tristan Stubbs can do as finishers, without having a set partner at the other end. But what a pity for South Africa, and what a pity for Reza Hendricks. But it was a wonderful flowing innings by the inform opener, 74 or 53 balls. And Tristan Stubbs, who at the moment has a spectacular strike rate of 215 in T20 cricket. This is just his 3rd innings, I think. 4th innings, maybe. As Delaney into Stubbs, and he turns us away off his pads through backward square leg. Yeah, no, it was a hat-trick ball indeed. And Stubbs is off the mark. First ball, and the end of a very successful over for Gareth Delaney, at least the second half of it. He went for 11 in the first 3 balls, but then wickets with successive balls. So 158 for 4 after 16 overs.
Do you think, this is totally off topic, do you think that Gerald Coetzee will get a run in this series?
Gerald? No, I don't, to be honest. No, because I think with World Cup prep in mind, he's competing with the likes of Dwayne Pretorius, Wayne Parnell, and Dietlef Petlequire. Petlequire played against England. He had a good run there. And Dwayne Pretorius and Wayne Parnell deserve, I think, these 2 matches to show what they can do. So I think for Gerald Coetzee, it's more of a learning experience to be around the team, see what the intensity and training is like at international level. As it's going to be Mark Adair. Mark Adair, the opening bowler, who's going to bowl the 17th over. He did quite well up front, 2 overs for 13 runs. And I imagine he'll probably bowl the 17th and the 19th.
Yeah. You have to go to 11 to get to 202, so they're going to have to get a move on as Stubbs just works this one down to the long on boundary.
So Adair into Tristan Stubbs, it's full, and Stubbs just pushes it down to long on for a single. 159 for 4. Klaasen hasn't faced a ball yet, so he'll be facing his first ball now from Mark Adair. So just in case you're joining us late, South Africa won the toss and elected to bat. Quinton de Kock ran himself out in the 4th over for 7, and Rassie van der Dussen was caught off the spinner Andy Mcbride for 10, as this is short from Adair, and Klaasen slaps it to cow corner for a single. But then a superb partnership of 112 in 10 overs between Reza Hendricks and Aiden Markram. They fell in successive deliveries. Markram was out for 56 off just 27 balls, and Reza Hendricks 74 or 53 balls, his fourth success at 50 a day. And Stubbs charges down the wicket and launches this. He hasn't got all of it, but long off was up, and it has gone over his head and dribbles away for 4.
Tristan Stubbs showing his intent, just trying to get on with it now, playing that lofted drive, not getting all of it, but safe, because, like you were saying, there was no one on that long off boundary up in the ring.
I like that by Tristan Stubbs, unselfish. He'll have in the back of his mind that he wants to go to the World Cup, but the team situation, and straight away trying to get it over long off, and this is angled into Stubbs, and he's launched it magnificently over cow corner. That was a massive 6 by Tristan Stubbs.
Oh, that's going to hit someone's car. It's gone.
Or someone's house.
Yeah. Guys in the flats are like, no.
I think Adair did the right thing trying to follow him outside leg stump, but unfortunately bowled a half volley, which Stubbs put away absolutely beautifully.
That's the 12 they need for the over to get over 200. Jeebus, that was a big hit.
Quite a long boundary out there, one of the longer boundaries on this quite small Bristol ground. 170 for 4 now, South Africa. We're 2 balls left in the 17th over. Stubbs has got going with a 6 and a 4. He's on 12 or 4 deliveries as Adair comes into him again. Again, he steps out leg stump. This time it's full outside off, but he still manages to get underneath it. Wonderful shot by Stubbs. 1 bounce 4 over long off.
Wide, stepping to his leg, wide outside off, stepping to his leg side, giving himself plenty of room to swing through, and it just goes over the in-ring and bounces away for 4. How tall is Tristan Stubbs? Because that bat looks tiny in his hands.
He has long levers as well, which is probably one of the secrets behind his powerful paw striking. Adair this time goes short, slow ball bouncer. Stubbs pulls it nicely out to cow corner, and it'll be just a single this time to Stubbs. He's got 17 off just 6 balls, and he will be keeping the strike for the 18th over. South Africa 175 for 4.
The bat seems so small. He's also crouching, like he's batting with the size with size 8 or size 5 bats. Looks tiny.
Well, it's got a big impact. It's got a big middle, yeah. That's for sure.
Jeez. He doesn't seem that much taller than Heinrich Klaasen. Just when Heinrich Klaasen is finally on strike, just look at the difference in stance.
No, it'll be Stubbs, because it was the end of the over, so Stubbs has kept the strike, which I think Heinrich Klaasen won't be too unhappy with, because Stubbs is clearly seeing it well and is on fire. Gary Mccarthy is going to bowl the 18th over. It'll be McCarthy's 4th and last over.
What do bowlers keep saying? It's a thankless job being a bowler, and you have Tristan Stubbs at the other end. He's just murdering everything you toss up to him.
Yeah. Little surprised that that middle stayed up for the whole over. They might have maybe tried to bring up fine leg or third man and just tried to force Stubbs to do something a bit different. But Barry McCarthy, as I say, is going to bowl the 18th over. 3 overs for 30 so far. Just 3 dot balls in those 3 overs. He's right arm over the wicket to Tristan Stubbs. Wide outside, or Stubbs slashes and gets an under edge. It goes straight to the wicketkeeper. So no run.
Just as we were saying, he was middling everything. He goes and gets the under edge down to the keeper. Could have left it, would have been wide. But going for everything now.
That's not a bad place to bowl, actually. Very full and very wide outside off stump. The only problem with that is that the batsman knows where it's going to be, but sometimes it's a bit hard to hit boundaries off it. McCarthy in again to Stubbs, who steps outside off. Stubbs, it's on the full outside off, and he rams it beautifully, spectacularly between the wicketkeeper and short third man for 4.
The dull school played to perfection. Catching practice for first slip. And there was nothing there.
That is just too good. I mean, the bowler just has to give the batsman credit there, because Stubbs stepped outside off stump onto the wide line outside off. And McCarthy did the right thing. He bowled full and at his legs. And Stubbs still somehow managed to get a bat to it and scoop it over third man for 4. Extraordinary shot. 21 off 8 now for Tristan Stubbs. He's on fire as he faces McCarthy again. Back of a length. Stubbs pulls powerfully, but there's not much timing. And it's a good save by Curtis Comfort, diving at square leg. That will keep him down to just 2. Yes, the old back of the hand short ball.
Stubbs did well to check his shot.
Yes, he did. Not the greatest timing, but he got 2 off it, so that's still a good effort. 23 off 9, he's got 181 for 4, South Africa, midway through the 18th over. As the sun starts to set in Bristol, lovely evening in Gloucestershire. McCarthy in again, right arm over. Stubbs makes a little step outside off stump, it's full outside off again, and he shovels this down to long on for just a single.
Just thinking now, there should never have been 2 straight. If you're hitting it straight to square leg in the ring, and they managed to get 2, it was a bit of a fumble, but still.
Maybe Comfort's half stop actually cost a run.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, it could have given him the opportunity to make 2. Whereas if you just let the ball go to the boundary, right, it could well have just been 1. You're right. Dwayne Pretorius padded up on the side of the field. And this is outside or some from McCarthy, and Clausen has tried to paddle it on the leg side, has missed. And through it goes to the wicketkeeper for a dot ball.
If I'm Clausen now, if you Clausen now, do you defend, try to go for 2 just to get Tristan Stubbs on strike first ball of the next over? Or
no, I think it depends on the delivery. If it's in your area where you can target a boundary, then go for the boundary. Otherwise, yeah, try and place it for a 2. That would probably be good. Worst case scenario, a 1. And here's McCarthy into Clausen. Full outside off, and Clausen drives it down to long off. That'll just be a single. So he goes to 2, and South Africa are 183 for 4 after 18 overs.
It was bowling the 19th over is going to be like, at least I'm not bowling Stubbs at the moment. I can deal with Clausen. Unless Clausen decides he's seen enough and he's going to go for it as well. But
Clausen
Clausen
hits the ball pretty well too.
Yeah.
But Tristan Stubbs very much the 4 man at the moment. The man on fire, 24 off just 10 balls for Tristan Stubbs.
Going at 240. Quick math.
So, poor old Josh Little is the man who's going to bowl the penultimate over. He's gone for 45 runs already in his 3 overs. And I just wish he'd come around the wicket, the left armour, because South Africa feasted on him today, coming left arm over.
They've been bowling just a bit too wide. Just too much width and allowing Reza Hendricks to free his arms, and Reza Hendricks just totally took to him.
And then he was in the slot to Aiden Markram, a bit too much too. So it's been a tough old day for Josh Little. He is coming around the wicket, short bouncer to Clausen, who hooks it out to deep square leg for just a 1.
Oh, bringing Tristan Stubbs, bringing Stubbs on strike. Josh Little is now going to be thinking of every single delivery that he can bowl to keep Stubbs quiet, or just give him the single to bowl to Clausen.
Yeah, Andy Balboni and Josh Little having quite an intense conversation to change the field for the long-hitting Tristan Stubbs. And it looks like they've settled on third man and fine leg are both up.
Oh,
And long on is inside the circle, so deep mid on. That is interesting. Little into Stubbs, full and wide outside off. And it is called a wide, in fact, as Stubbs tried to reach it but couldn't, just outside the wide line there. Right idea by Little, but the execution not quite there.
Only three, well, the camera angle's only showing three, but only three fielders on the offside. That's very brave from Ireland.
I think there's probably a deep cover as well, particularly this line. So he's got a long off and probably a deep cover as well. As he's into Stubbs, short Stubbs hooks. It's gone straight up in the air though.
Up. Ball's coming
And
down,
it's
snow
taken
on
by wicketkeeper Tucker. What a good running catch by wicketkeeper Lorcan Tucker. He's done very well there. He had to run to, well, beyond where a short fine leg would be standing. But a wonderful little cameo by Tristan Stubbs, 24 off 11 balls.
And Tucker took it over his shoulder, and that ball went so high, it was probably coming down at terminal velocity. That ball was so high. But yeah, fantastic take.
Yeah.
A great cameo by Tristan Stubbs, bringing in Proteas. Joel Proteas coming to the wicket now.
So 10 balls left in the innings. We'll see what Heinrich Klaasen and Dwayne Pretorius can do. 185 for 5. And South Africa will certainly be disappointed if they don't get to 200 here. Dwayne Pretorius in 29 matches, he's striking at 153, 1.5 century in those 29 matches, 223 runs. We know he can hit a long ball.
Yes. Just after this over,
Heinrich Klaasen will be on strike though, as he faces it for now. Again, wide outside the off stump, and again called wide by umpire Saggers.
Yeah, after this over, we're going to read some of the messages on YouTube and see where we go from there with 1 over to go to almost 2, just over 1 over to go in this innings.
Tristan Stubbs, that hook shot that got him out, just getting it quite high on the bat as Heinrich Klaasen leans back and pulls to wide long on for a single. 187 for 5.
Look at that dismissal. Tristan Stubbs took a huge step back, or almost a couple of inches away from the stumps, and it just got big on him, and he swung through. If you're going to swing hard, and got that top edge, and it just sailed into the sky. Defying gravity.
As Dwayne Pretorius prepares to face his first ball from Little, it's short, and Pretorius backs away and rather wafts at it and gets the edge between the wicketkeeper and short third man for 4 runs.
There's no justice in being a bowler. Gee, he did everything right.
Yeah, it certainly rushed Pretorius. He was not really in control of that stroke, but went through with it, got the edge, and split the wicketkeeper and at a short third man. Little in again to Pretorius, short again. Pretorius pulls. It's gone up in the air, and it has dropped safely just behind the square leg umpire. And so a single for Dwayne Pretorius.
Yeah, just rushing him again, getting the top edge a bit late on the shot, and just luckily falling safe of a short fine leg.
Yeah, I think Little's done a lot better when he's pulled his length back a bit in this innings. The wicket perhaps a bit sticky, short again, and Klaasen swats this behind square on the leg side. Again, just a signal. It's a bit of almost a tacky looking sort of pitch. So the short ball maybe a bit more difficult for the batsmen to time. And I'm sure the Proteas bowlers will be looking at that with interest. End of the 19th over, 193 for 5.
Little's also the only one to actually get the ball to rise up to trouble the South African batters. Moots Boss says, where's Darwin Miller? Which Otto replied, Miller has a back spasm. Then he says, thanks Otto, yes boss. And then he also says that Stubbs, Adrian Caper eat your heart out. Let's not rush things. And then also said 30 plus from the last 2 overs.
Yeah, so the last over has dawned for the Proteas. They're 193 for 5. And it's a dare to Klaasen. Wide outside off. Klaasen slaps it down to long off. It'll just be a single, 194 for 5. Klaasen has got 6 off 7 balls. Pretorius on 5 off 2. He's on strike now.
Adrian Cape
Klaasen looking... Yeah, if Caper had played T20, he really would have been a global superstar. As a dare, short to Pretorius, who stepped outside off stump, and he swings at it and misses through to the wicketkeeper. Dot ball.
Is that like gold dust in this closing stages of an innings?
The short ball really paying off for Ireland in these death overs, as Pretorius actually walked down the pitch a bit at Adair, but he responded very well. Adair is in again, goes wide of the crease, but the ball's angled down leg, and Pretorius puts it away between the wicketkeeper and short fine leg. So that's 4 more runs.
Just straying with his line, trying to overcorrect a bit, bowling full. This one sliding down leg, and just had to get a little bit of batter on it because fine leg is up, and Pretorius manages to get the boundary.
Adair in again. It's a good leg ball. Pretorius flicks this off his legs, high in the air, and it's gone all the way over mid-wicket. 6 runs for Dwayne Pretorius, and South Africa go past 200.
And when he's sent miles into the stands, and yes, that's the 200 up. South Africa 204 for 5 with 2 balls to come in the final over. It's crossing that 200 threshold.
So, Pretorius, 2 balls left in the innings. Can he get them to 210? Full outside off stump. And Pretorius has slapped this. Long off's got a lot of work to do. He runs around a good diving stop by Mccarthy. He's done very well there to save the boundary. And Pretorius will get 2.
Toe ended that one, but went through with the stroke. McCarthy pulls out the dive and puts his body on the line there and saves 2 runs for his team.
Yeah, good work by the pace bowler on the boundary. Last ball of the innings, Adair. Short to Pretorius, who tries to ramp it. He's missed. He wants the square leg umpire to call a wide, and it has been called a wide, in fact. Wide for height, I imagine.
13 extras in this innings. Will that come back to haunt Ireland later?
I think Pretorius was justified in wanting a wide there.
Yeah, it was
well above head high. So, 207 for 5. Adair in again to Pretorius. Third man and fine leg up. Wide outside off stump. Pretorius has squeezed this over short third man, and that'll run away for 4 runs as well. So, a wonderful end to the innings by Dwayne Pretorius. 4, 6, 2, and 4. So, he finishes on 21 off just 7 balls. Klaasen has 6 off 7. South Africa 211 for 5. And East, you happy with that total?
Yeah, I think that's a winning total. That's a very good total. It's enough for for this bowling lineup to bowl at, and enough to see Ireland struggle a bit. But yeah, it's going to be game on. It's 40 runs above par, so that also tells you a lot about the batting, and it was fantastic batting by the South Africans.
Yeah, I think if they bowl well, it should be enough. And I think they would have learned from Ireland here at the end about how effective the short ball is. There's a bit in this pitch for the seamers. We didn't see too much spin on it, but I'm sure Shamsi and Maharaj will have an important role to play nevertheless.
I think the spinners are going to play more of a holding role. But yeah, it's a very sticky wicket. There's not a lot of bounce. I think only Little managed to get the ball up, and then Adair now just managed to get the ball to rise a bit. So it started off a bit sticky, and now there's a little bit of bounce, but tennis ball bounce really that is coming through.
Well, that's what makes it tricky for the batsman trying to play big shots. Is they're not 100% sure at what pace the short ball is going to come through. So just running through the scorecard quickly, South Africa won the toss and elected to bat first. They lost Quinton de Kock in the fourth over, running himself out for 7. And then Rassie van der Dussen fell in the 6th over when he was caught at short third man off the spinner Mcbride for 10. That left South Africa on 45 for 2. And then a magnificent partnership of 112 in 10 overs between Reza Hendricks and Aiden Markram. Unfortunately for South Africa, they were dismissed in successive deliveries. Aiden Markram was very well caught in the deep off the leg spinner Delaney for 56 of 27 balls, an explosive innings, which included 5 sixes. And in the next delivery, Reza Hendricks, who batted quite beautifully again for his 4th successive half-century, 74 of 53 balls by him. Tristan Stubbs then provided the big finish for South Africa, 24 of just 11 balls. And Dwayne Pretorius, also a very handy 21 not out of just 7 balls. Heinrich Klaasen, 6 not out of 7. Leaves South Africa on 211 for 5. The bowling figures, really not much to talk about for Ireland. They used 7 bowlers. Mark Adair went for 48 and 4. And Mcbride, the spinner, I thought was really good. But he only bowled 2 overs up front and took 1 for 12. Josh Little had a really tough evening, 1 for 55 in 4 overs for him. Barry McCarthy was decent, 38 in his 4 overs. George Dockrell, the left-arm spinner, 1 over for 11. Gareth Delaney, the leg spinner, 3 overs, 2 for 31. And then Curtis Comfer did pretty well in his 2 overs, just conceding 16 runs.
Yeah, it's
so there you have it.
Yeah, it's going to be a full toss for Ireland to chase. 200 plus, that's what we wanted, 210. As Otto and I said at the beginning. So yeah, it's going to be a great chase for Ireland. Difficult chase, but like I was saying earlier on, they did give India a scare, chasing 213. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Now it's up to the bowlers. They've got enough runs to play with, and Keshav Maharaj standing in for Miller, who has a back spasm or some back muscle issue of some nature. Should be enough, but England scored 236 on this wicket. On this ground, probably not the same wicket. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
So it's going to be key for the 2 spinners, Maharaj and Shamsi, to see if they can get the job done for South Africa and make the ball talk off a sticky wicket, a low bouncing wicket, as Ken pointed out. So I'm quite happy with this.
I think there is bounce there.
You got to bend your back a bit, so it's not.
There is bounce there, but it's a bit too paced to bounce. So I think hopefully we'll see the South African paceman use the short ball quite a lot, actually, particularly since the square boundaries are the longer ones at this ground.
Yeah. Not that Tristan Stubbs found anything. Gee, wow.
Look, there aren't too many boundaries that are too long for that guy. I'm looking forward to seeing him in Australia on those big fields.
Yeah, that'll be interesting indeed to see if he can clear the boundary quite as effectively. And I was just listening to Robin Peterson, who coaches him at the Warriors, that his dad coached Tristan from a young age to just play his shots, to go for it.
Yeah.
And that certainly shows in the way he plays. He always looks to play a shot before thinking about anything else. And very interesting that Tristan said that he does want to play some test cricket.
Yeah, he's got first class average of 50, I think. So
46.5, yeah. So he's already got a couple of first class hundreds, which, yeah, it's very pleasing that, you know, he's also started really well in red ball cricket in what is still a very young career.
But he's got quite a few guys knocking on his heels for the next the next big one. We've got what's his name, Rivas, coming through as well. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, look, I think Stubbs is ahead of Brevis simply because he's a couple of years older than him, and he's already, you know, proven himself at senior level, and now at international level. You know, whereas Devot Brevis has played very little actual senior cricket, especially back home in South Africa.
Yeah, maybe
what he has
in the
played,
next
he's looked
cycle.
very promising.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in the next cycle, Brevis and Stubbs will be the lower middle order that can just destroy the attacks. And Brevis, of course, bowls a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was with the Adrian Caper comparison, because I was like, Adrian Caper was a very underrated bowler, because we just the highlight just is explosive batting. But yeah, he bowled a bit too, so it's going to be interesting to see Stubbs develop as a bowler as well.
Yeah, it would be handy if his little off spinners could develop a bit. The more bowling options you have, the better in the side.
Yeah.
Neelan Nagan says Ryan Rickleton.
Oh yeah. Look, Ryan Rickleton, like, just everything about him, the way he looks, the way he bats, his technique, just reminds me so much of a film. I haven't seen him bat live of Graham Pollock. Just his backlift and everything, and it's just amazing to watch.
No,
interesting that Ryan Rickleton
was playing, but I remember that he was absolutely devastating, and like you said, Ken, it would have been interesting to see how he would play in this format.
He would have been a superstar, absolute superstar.
We have Leah.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Leah.
Hi, Annie.
Which means we have 4 people.
If
So
anyone
we
needs,
can work through this next innings.
If anyone needs a break, I can relieve them.
I'm just going to take like 5 minutes just for a cup of coffee.
All right.
And I'll be back.
Thank you so much, Leah. We'll play it by ear. I'm going to take the ball by ball, Ken. So you can take a break from that at the start of this second innings. Ireland will be chasing 212 for 5. And so we'll see how we go through this Ireland chase and how long we have to cover this match. Hopefully South Africa can dominate with the ball as well, like they did with the bat.
Yes.
But this Ireland team is not going to go down without a fight. They have shown that they can mix it with the big guns. And they do have that fighting spirit, that fighting, never give up temperament that we love to see. Hopefully they'll do that in another series against another team.
Yes, you might invoke the Fighting Irish, even though that was the University of Notre Dame against the Clan in America, but.
Shibu.
Yeah, they're certainly a plucky side, and they.
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah, they're a very plucky side, and even though they lost to India and New Zealand 3-0 in all those series, there were games where they actually pushed those sides really close. So certainly should not be underestimated.
No, not at all. Shibu Mokhalade on YouTube says, "Let's keep pushing, boys." Thank you, Shibu, for your support and for listening, and for the comment coming through. And Leah, it's good to see you. Hope your family is safe and healthy, and will pull through. Ireland need 212 runs to win, and it will be Keshav Maharaj, it looks like, to open the bowling against Paul Stirling. He has a best of 115 not out, 108 matches, 2,894 runs. And South Africa's captain for the day, Keshav Maharaj, will be bowling left arm round the wicket. Orthodox spin. There's a third man, fine leg inside the ring as Maharaj goes onto the leg stump of Stirling, who just defends this into the onside for no run. And then there's a point and an extra cover, mid-off, mid-on inside the circle. We'll check to see the fielding positions outside the circle as Maharaj, left arm round, goes to Stirling, who drives this one. And mid-off is in fact back. And they take a single. So long off on the boundary, cover and extra cover inside the ring there. Andy Balbirnie, 73 matches, best of 83, is facing Maharaj now. Both right-handers here for Ireland on Midland leg, defended off the back foot. Maharaj fields on the onside, no run. 3 balls gone in the first over. Ireland 1 without loss. Balbirnie facing his second now. He swipes across the line. The ball goes off his top edge, flies down to the backward square leg boundary for 4. A good-looking sweep shot, but just misjudged the bounce there a little bit. Got the top edge, but square leg and fine leg inside the circle means that ball flies over both of them for 4. 5 without loss. Balbirnie now on 4 of 2. Maharaj in again, pulled this one down, but Balbirnie couldn't cash in on that. And it is mid-wicket who's also on the boundary, running in to cover that one. Square leg has gone back to the boundary. 6 without loss. 10.
Yeah, it was a good positive stroke by Balbirnie, seeing no one back square on the leg side and going for the boundary option early on.
Paul Stirling steps outside his leg stump and smashes this one down to the cover boundary, but the cover fielders run back. They come back for 2. Ireland are 8 without loss after the first over. Very expansive shot there by Paul Stirling. A well-set man, but a very strong athlete. Just muscled that one off his stumps out over the cover boundary. Couldn't get to the boundary. The ball just a little bit too high of a trajectory there, stuck in the outfield as it bounced. Very experienced side here for Ireland. Curtis Camphor, the least experienced, with 16 matches in T20 internationals.
Yeah, Paul Stirling looks a bit like a darts player.
Yes.
But there's no mistaking he's a top-class T20 player, batsman, no doubt about that. Definitely a danger man with that strike rate of 134.
And Gidi to bowl the second over to Balbirnie. Good length on off stump, forces the shot, and it is driven by Balbirnie into extra cover for no run. Lungi and Gidi, 30 matches, best of 5 for 39, 2 4-wicket hauls. Economy of 8.5, which will be fine in this match, and 49 wickets in his 30 matches. So very dangerous attacking bowler for South Africa, and he's been good on this tour so far.
It's been excellent.
He comes right on over the wicket to Balbirnie. On leg stump, this one drifts down to the keeper and it's wided by the umpire. First extra of the innings from South Africa to Ireland. It's pitching on middle and off and just sliding down with the arm down the leg side. 9 without loss now. First ball, second legitimate ball of the second over to come. Backward point extra cover, nice. Bit over pitch there. Balbirnie climbs into that one and strokes it through extra cover for 4. That's a good looking shot there. Bit over pitched by Lungi and Ngidi, outside off stump, and Balbirnie makes no mistake.
Let's see what we have on social media. Shibu Mokgalane says, let's keep pushing, boys. He also says Ireland only chance is to go hard up front, and I would agree with that.
And Ngidi into Balbirnie, better delivery, good length, just back of a length on Midland leg, defended by Balbirnie into the offside for no run, 13 without loss. Yes, Neil and Nagan, they've got to go hard up front. You're quite right. Thank you very much for listening and for commenting.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
See a replay of that. It's a wicket that Ken has pointed out as well that produces some awkward bouncing deliveries every now and then. And this time, Ngidi cuts Balbirnie in half. Quinton de Kock misses that delivery as it goes flying over off stump, and it's 4 runs back behind the wicket keeper for Ireland, 17 without loss. Geez, that missed everything and deceived Quinton de Kock. Oh.
Yeah, nipped back quite a long way from Ngidi and just bounced awkwardly in front of Quinton de Kock. But he'll be upset that he didn't manage to stop that one.
Yeah, he got his body behind it, but it was a very awkward bounce. And Ngidi in again to Balbirnie, full on leg stump, and it goes down the leg side. There must have been something on that because there was half an appeal. The umpire says not out, and there's no wide there, so a dot ball. 1 ball to go in the second over. See a replay here. Almost a perfect Yorker by Lungi and Ngidi. And he appealed for the LBW, but that struck Balbirnie outside the line of leg stump, which saved him the blushes of a wide. Ngidi comes in again now past the umpire. Balbirnie defends this one straight back past the bowler. They come through for a quick single. Mid-on runs around, but they are safely through for the single. 18 without loss after 2, and it's a steady start here by Ireland so far, punishing the mistakes by South Africa. Some aggressive shots by Balbirnie, and then a little bit of wayward bowling by Ngidi in his first over, but he only conceded 6 there. So that's...
It was a very good comeback by Ngidi after a shaky start to the over, as you said.
Yeah, but Ireland on course here. They need to go at 10 runs and over for 19 more overs. The required run rate now is 10.7. There you go. Thank you.
Yes,
yeah.
And the current run rate is 9, and Andrew Burney is on 10 of 9, and Paul Sterling is off 3 of 3. So, okay.
Now, this is going to be key now. Wayne Parnell replacing Maharaj. Left arm, Parnell over the wicket to Balbirnie, outside off stump, and it's absolutely smashed by Balbirnie through the covers for 4. What a shot there, hitting it on the up, just on top of the bounce there by Balbirnie. Very nicely done. A little bit too wide there by Wayne Parnell, trying to go across the left-hander. It's just back of a length and just too wide. Parnell in again, this time tighter on off stump. Much better from the South African veteran. And there's no run. So Parnell,
just a hint of swing back into the right-hander there by Parnell. It's going to be interesting to see if he can get more swing with the floodlights beginning to take effect.
Yeah, Parnell is playing his 44th match, best of 4 for 13, average of 26.26. He goes into Balbirnie, who misses this one, beaten all ends up, tries to lift this one over the covers, but the ball goes through to the keeper for no run. Excellent delivery there from Wayne Parnell. Balbirnie stepping down the wicket, and oh my goodness, if that had been a little bit fuller by Parnell, it would have crashed into Balbirnie stumps, exposing all 3 stumps. He stepped outside the leg stump, trying to lift it over the covers. As Parnell in again, left arm over the wicket to Balbirnie, swipes across the line, top edge, high into the air. Is there someone underneath it? It is Proteas who takes the catch. The first wicket is down for Ireland. Balbirnie goes for 14 of 13, 22 for 1 after 2.4.
Yes, the first wicket to fall for Ireland is Andy Balbirnie. Caught Proteas, bowled Parnell, 14 of 13 balls. He struck 3 fours, no sixes, and had a strike rate of 107.69. And I'm absolutely certain somewhere Tony Bishop is flying a breath of relief that it's not Paul Sterling to go first.
Yes.
It was,
Sterling is still there. Go for it, Ken.
Yeah, it was rather a loose, wild swat that by Andy Balbirnie. Very little footwork. Just tried to smear it into the leg side. And the length was all wrong as well.
Lorcan Tucker comes to the crease. Yeah. 36 matches, 467 runs, 2 50s and a best of 84. Career strike rate of 113.9. This is good signs for South Africa, the Irish being forced to attack, and that will give South Africa opportunities to take wickets. Parnell in, left arm over the wicket to Paul Sterling, who defends this one off middle and leg. He was almost watching where he wanted the ball to go. I think he was struck on the pads, but I think he might get an edge. No, says Maharaj. I'll have a look. The umpire said not out.
Be brave.
It might. They're going for pad first here.
Yeah.
It might have done too much, swinging back into the right-hander. There was quite a bit of swing there from Wayne Parnell.
So while we wait for that, can you mention that you're going to have to jump off at the latter part of the pad first?
Oh. Right.
So there was an inside edge, but pad came first. So you must just tell us, Ken, when you are ready to go.
I'll go at halftime, at halfway, 10 overs.
All right.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ken. So that's umpire's call on the wickets. And Paul Sterling survives. Yeah, that looked a bit too high to me, but a good review. South Africa retained the review. Paul Sterling did not look convincing at all when he played that shot. As Parnell is in again, Fuller this time, and mid-off does some good work to stop the single dot ball, gold dust. Excellent work there. It was rocketing along the ground straight to mid-off, who had to dive to the left to stop that. Excellent work there.
Come on, Otto. Defending 211, that was not gold dust. That was, I don't know, shredded. Something like that.
It was, what is that? Yeah, that semi-precious metal stuff that they advertise on the shopping channels. Yeah.
No.
What is that?
No. By 2 minutes is that kind of coal they mine in Germany with this very big
Anthracite.
No. Anthracite is not mined open air.
Oh, okay.
Tungsten
Oh,
carbide.
okay.
Brown coal.
Okay. Ngidi into Tucker, who tucks this off his hip into the fine leg boundary for 4, straying in his line there a little bit, and Tucker just helps it around the corner, and they get a 4. It was back of a length on leg stump, and fine leg Parnell is inside the ring, couldn't cut that off, and it's 4 runs. 26 for 1 is the score. Start of the 4th over. Second delivery from Lungi Ngidi, right arm over the wicket to Tucker, who gets a back of a length. This time had to fend it from in front of his chest down to fine leg for a single. 27 for 1. Tucker is on 5 off 2, Sterling on 3 off 5.
1 ball 2 straight with fine leg up.
So Ken, if you don't mind, you can take us through a bit of ball by ball for a few overs, see how we go.
Yeah, sure.
Because
no problems.
It's going to be probably myself and Leah and Anis if he's willing to stick around for the last 10. So I'm going to save my voice a little bit.
Need a break. Yeah. Lungi Ngidi into Paul Sterling. Back of a length. Sterling heaves this beautifully. It just evades deep square leg and has gone for 6. That was an excellent shot by Paul Sterling. Stepping across outside off stump and pulling powerfully.
As we were talking about during the break, Lungi Ngidi dropping it short, the ball just not getting up, but slowing down, and that tennis ball bounce really showing here. Paul Sterling had all the time in the world to just swipe it across the line for 6.
Yeah, that was a bit too short from Ngidi, and he's just querying the square leg fielder, not making a better effort to catch it. As Ngidi will come in again, bowl a bit fuller, Lungi. That will help. Into Sterling, that's better length. That Sterling slaps it over the covers, and I fancy that's going to run away for 4 as well. Marlard is trying his best, but he can't get there in time. So 6 and 4 for Paul Sterling.
This is proving to be a very expensive over for Lungi Ngidi. Going to 15? 15, yes, so far.
South Africa bowled too short the last time they were here at Bristol. I think they allowed the short straight boundaries to get into their heads a bit, and it seems they might be suffering a bit the same malady this evening, as Ngidi comes in again for the 5th ball of his 2nd over to Sterling. The bouncer, it's an impressive bounce, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be a wide. Yes, it is.
Going to have to dig it in. They're having to dig it in really, really short for the ball to sit up that, get that high. So it's just telling you that you can't bowl short on this wicket. You're not going to get the rewards that you think you're going to get.
Anissa, I think you can, but you've got to bowl the right short length. Ireland showed towards the end of the South African innings how effective the shorter pitch balls can be, but Ngidi is just too short. That's a better length. And Sterling flaps it away through square leg to Rassie van der Dussen on the boundary, and just a single. He goes to 14 off 8, Ireland 39 for 1.
Yeah, but that was short, but it didn't get above Sterling's belly button. So
yeah, but he still couldn't time. He still couldn't get like perfect timing on the shot, because from that length the bounce is a bit too paced.
Yeah.
As Ngidi will now bowl to Tucker. Back of a length again, and Tucker goes back and just defends this towards mid-on. No run, so a better ending to the over for Lungi Ngidi. 4 gone, 39 for 1.
And we have Paul Sterling on 14 of 8 and Lorcan Tucker on 5 of 3. Lungi Ngidi has bowled 2 overs taken no wickets, conceded 23 runs for an economy of 11.5. Wayne Parnell, from the other end, has bowled 1 over, taken 1 wicket for 4 runs at an economy of 4. And people, don't forget, you can tweet at us at Gorilla SA and at 1 as the number 1, the numeral 1, word SR. Or you can leave us a comment on YouTube. Please get in touch. We love to hear from you.
Parnell in to Sterling, short the bouncer. Sterling hooks at it but misses. And that's the perfect height bouncer from Wayne Parnell. Below head height, good pace, well directed, and it's a dot ball.
Cold dust, as Leo would say.
Parnell left arm over to Sterling, down leg. That's not a good ball, and Sterling just helps it on its way. Beating fine leg for 4 runs for Paul Sterling. He goes to 18 off 10, 43 for 1.
Short of a length, not really getting up again. Just it's about his belly button, and
yeah, the line is wrong there though. You can't bowl outside leg stump, whatever length. Parnell in again. That's Fuller. He strikes. Sterling's on the pads, and the umpire's giving him out. LBW did that pitch in line with leg stump. If it hasn't pitched outside leg stump, he is definitely out. And Paul Sterling is reviewing.
Oh, and Parnell's getting the ball to swing a bit. He's now. He's done. Oh, height.
Might be.
No, it was pretty full. I think height will be fine. Sterling's only hope here is if it pitches outside leg stump. Does hit him above the roll.
Yes,
but he is right back.
He's right back. His front foot's behind the ball, behind the crease. Dead.
Yeah, all depends where it pitches, I think. Yeah, he certainly hasn't hit it. And it is pitched in line, impacted line. That's going to hit the stumps, yep. So Wayne Parnell has wickets in his first 2 overs.
Excellent. So,
yeah, it's a good wicket to get. Paul Sterling was looking dangerous, 18 off 11 balls.
Yeah, so the second Irish wicket to fall is Paul Sterling. Leg before wicket, bowled Parnell for 18 off 11 balls. 2 fours, 1 6 at a strike rate of 162.63. I'm sorry, Tony.
Ireland are on track with run rate wise, but it's just those 2 wickets that are seeming to come back at them. And this is the same thing that happened against New Zealand, where they seemingly just imploded after a good start.
Well, they're a bit ahead of South Africa at the moment. South Africa scored 47 for 2 in the power play, the first 6 overs. We're midway through the 5th over, and Ireland 43 for 2. So as long as they don't lose another wicket in the power play, they'll be fairly well placed. Of course, South Africa had a phenomenal partnership then for the 3rd wicket. Harry Tector is the new man who's come to the wicket. And Wayne Parnell has got a slip in place as he comes left arm over the wicket to Tector, who drives handsomely into the covers. It's a wonderful diving stop though by Rassie van der Dussen, and that stops Tector from getting off the mark. Did he get off the mark?
No.
Yes,
he did.
They did. They took a quick single off the rebound from Rassie van der Dussen, but it was a very nice piece of fielding. 44 for 2. Tucker back on strike, so 2 new batsmen at the crease as well. Tucker's just facing his 4th ball now. Parnell in, Tucker drives beautifully, ball swinging into him, and he just lofts it over deep mid on, and that'll run away for 4.
Fantastic
Not a
shot
bad
there.
shot. Not a bad shot.
With the field up. South Africa's got a very offside biased field. They got a short third man, forward point, a man in the covers, and mid on and mid off. Mid off rather.
It's a wonderfully controlled shot by Tucker. Just a little shuffle down and then hands through the ball. And he's down the pitch again. And this is even bigger and even better. From Lorcan, Tucker, wonderful straight six into one of the hotel rooms surrounding this ground.
Beautiful. Oh,
Mind
up
the windows, Lorcan.
So 54 for 2 after 5 overs. That's the end of Parnell's over a wicket, but he's proving quite expensive as well. 19 runs off his 2 overs so far.
Yes, and we have for Ireland, we have Harry Tector on 1 of 1 and Lorcan Tucker on 15 of 5. Not that bad in the chase.
I wonder if those hotel rooms they get charged extra because they get some of the best seats in the house to watch the cricket.
Absolutely.
The hotel balcony.
You won't find them on.
Would seem fair, Nice? Yes. As Dwayne Pretorius is into the attack to Tector, who gives himself a bit of space outside leg stump. But Pretorius follows him. It's a bit of a crabbed push down to long on, just for a single, 55 for 2.
Tector doing the right thing there, just giving Tucker the strike, who is going like a rocket, 15 or 5, going at a strike rate of 300.
So Tucker back on strike. Pretorius full, a bit of shape in, and Tucker just drives this nicely down to long on for a single.
Dropping mid on, back to long on, trying to dissuade Tucker from lofting those drives.
Well, if he does want to loft, they're going to give him long off, but Pretorius shaping the ball back into him. Will look to go through his gate. This one's a bit wider outside off stump, and Tector chops it towards point. No run.
Shorted man, gully, point, cover, and mid off. Jeez, that's an offside. If you go anything on the leg side, you're going to travel.
Yeah, well, Pretorius is known for bowling that line outside off stump. He's become pretty good at it. Here he comes again. Fourth ball of his first over. Bit straighter. Tector is down the pitch and punches us down to long on for, again, just a single.
Short, and then a short fine leg, deep backward square, mid-wicket and a long on. So both boundary fielders on the leg side. No protection on the offside boundaries. Forcing the Irish to play through the offside.
2 balls left in the power play, and it's been a good one for Ireland so far, 57 for 2. Pretorius in goes Fuller. Tucker drives him straight over mid-offside, and that'll be 4 more runs to Tucker. He goes to 20 off just 7 deliveries.
Straight over mid-offside, and just runs away to the boundary. Tucker seeing it like a beach ball, just getting way back into the crease, turning a Yorker into a half volley.
2 wonderful straight hits, and now he steps outside all stump and slog sweeps Pretorius, and that's gone all the way over deep backward square leg. 6 runs for Tucker.
Oh, the nerves of rattling the South Africans at the moment. They're going to have to find a way to shut down Tucker. Is he playing a match-winning innings? I think
you
so.
might as well be. might as well be. After 6 overs, Ireland are 67 for 2. Harry Tector is on 3 of 4, and Lorcan Tucker is on 26 of 8 at a strike rate of 325. That's not bad.
So Ireland 20 runs better than South Africa in the power play. South Africa made 47 for 2, Ireland 67 for 2, but South Africa's leading T20 bowler is coming on now. Tabray Shamsi straight into the attack at the end of the power play.
Not taking pace off the ball. South Africa not really playing around anymore. The power play is done. Field's going to be spread. Tabray Shamsi has the protection. Can he get the wickets?
The last time he bowled on this ground, he went for 49 runs in 3 overs. He was a bit spooked by the short straight boundaries and bowled a bit short. So let's see if he's learnt his lesson. Here he comes now. It's Fuller straight away. And a nice leg to Tector, who just works the square on the leg side for a single. He goes to 4, Ireland 68 for 2.
Ireland ahead of the required run rate, 10.41. They're currently going at 11.03. So a great start by Ireland.
South Africa will be requiring some wickets, one feels. So Shamsi to the danger man Tucker. Well flouted Tucker, reverse sweep. It's looped over wicketkeeper Quinton de Kock. And Lugni Ngidi runs from short fine leg to do the fielding. I wonder if that was bat or pad. There was no real appeal from Shamsi.
Came off the elbow? Ow.
I think it was pad. But it pitched outside leg stump, so that's why there was no appeal from a bowler who's normally not too shy to appeal. Tabray Shamsi in again, well flighted, on leg stump, turned around the corner by Tucker. They take a single to short fine leg, and Gidi throws at the bowler's end. But Tucker is well home. He goes to 27 off 10.
Tabray Shamsi from the Imran Tahir School of Appeals.
So they're just showing a replay of Adis Mohammed, you called it, off the elbow. Shamsi, this is tossed up even more. And Tector just drives it down to long on for a single. So good to see Tabray Shamsi's bowled a good fuller length so far in this over. Just gone for 3 singles or 4 balls. He'll take on Tucker again now. Shamsi left arm over the wicket, turning towards the leg side, and Tucker again tucks it down to a sprawling Ngidi at short fine leg for a single.
Not often you see a fast bowler diving around the field.
So, last ball of Shamsi's first over. It's been a good one. Can he finish well? To Tector. Well flighted outside off stump. Tector sweeps. And cow corner. Tristan Stubbs will comfortably cross that off. So, just a single. A very good first over by Tabray Shamsi. Just 5 runs off it. 72 for 2 after 7 overs.
And we have tweets coming in from Unchecked Podcast. Tucker promoted and Sterling in fine form. Ireland shown they mean business here in the chase of a huge total from South Africa. Yes, Ajit, I think they actually mean business. Yes. And we are the luckier for it, because who cares about a boring game?
Yeah. I think that Ireland want to prove a point. They've come up just short against India and New Zealand. At least trying to win one of these games would be first prize for this Irish team. Getting close, but just getting across the line.
And it's a good test for South Africa to have to try and drag this innings back now. Ireland on top at the moment. 72 for 2 after 7 overs. I beg your pardon. Ireland needing another 140 runs or 78 balls, and Keshav Maharaj is returning from the other end, so spin at both ends now. Maharaj into Tector, but short. Tector slaps it off the back foot, but straight to extra cover, and that's a soft dismissal indeed.
Oh, Tector giving it away.
Oh dear.
He put down. Oh.
Yeah.
Not too much celebrations there from the South Africans. Like, yeah, okay, business done. And just toss the ball back to the umpire. Straight to the field, straight to Proteas.
Yeah, so the Ireland wicket to fall is Harry Tector, who has caught Pretorius bowled Maharaj for 6 of 8 balls, struck no boundaries, no maximums, at a strike rate of 75.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just throwing it away there. Delaney coming to the wicket.
A bit. Yes, a bit.
Tector flung his head back in disgust when he saw what he had done. Dwayne Pretorius is quite a tall guy to have to clear at extra cover, but it was a bit short for Maharaj. But the one thing was, it was a quicker delivery, which cramped Tector a bit. Gareth Delaney comes to the crease. He's playing his 43rd match. Has scored 709 runs at a strike rate of 133 with 3 half centuries. So that's a pretty decent record. And he bowled some pretty decent leg spin tonight as well. So a useful cricketer. As Maharaj left arm around the wicket to him, back of a length, and Delaney goes back and prods this towards mid-wicket. Maharaj will field himself, but they go through for a single.
Yeah, just working that one down, just trying to keep things quiet is going to be the goal now for South Africa for just a couple of overs, which would change the complexion of this game completely.
Yeah, they've opened up one end, but Tucker on strike now. He's on 28 off 11. Maharaj and well flighted. Tucker goes back and chops this into the covers. No run.
Just showing the experience that a lot of teams don't have, and a lot of the smaller teams don't get, is that South Africa are going to try to control the tempo going forward and just try to feel like they have some control.
Maharaj in to Tucker, well flighted. He sweeps this. He's made wonderful contact. It's gone over deep square leg for 6.
Okay, I know. Just as I was saying, try to control, get some control, a semblance of control.
Maybe just a bit over pitched by Keshav Maharaj. Wonderful shot though. Drags his length back now, and Tucker has slapped this out to the cover sweeper for just 1 run. He's on 35 or 14 balls, 80 for 3. Ireland with 1 ball left of the 8th over.
Tucker not messing around.
Goes Delaney back on strike now. Maharaj in. Well flighted. Delaney drives hard, but hits the ball into the ground. No timing there. Into the covers, and Maharaj ends his second over with a dot ball. Ireland 80 for 3 after 8 overs.
We see Ireland still well ahead of the run at this stage.
But they didn't let the required run rate get out of hand. They are currently at 10. The required run rate is 11. That is fine at this stage of the game, I think.
Yeah.
They
are well
they
ahead
might be
for that.
third.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, the longer Lorcan Tucker stays there,
Yes.
the tougher it will be for South Africa. They'll be very, very keen to get his wicket. As it's Shamsi to Tucker, flighted. He's on the sweep. He's missed it, struck on the back leg, but outside off stump, and Shamsi just sticks his hands up. Thought of appeal, but that was never going to be given.
Yeah, it didn't turn enough to worry the umpire there.
If you excuse me for just 10 seconds to get something.
Shamsi in again. Tucker goes on the back foot and pushes this to long on for a single.
Yeah, Delaney now on strike. South Africa going to be happy that Tucker's not on strike. Watch me jinx it now, and Delaney start going.
Well, I'm going to jinx it as well by saying Tabrei Shamsi has really made a very good start today with the ball. Riding high in confidence after taking 8 wickets in the last 2 T20s against England. Here he comes again, left arm over the wicket to Delaney. Well flighted again, and Delaney will drive this down to long on for one. They're thinking of a second, but that's never going to be on. 82 for 3.
Debre Shamsi looked upset that nothing happened.
He definitely expects to get a wicket every ball. You do get that feeling. He certainly backs himself as he's in again now to Tucker. Tucker's got the reverse sweep out, but it's the other one which turns away from him. He's struck on the pads, and it dribbles down to short fine leg, and they'll go through for a single.
Pitched outside leg. Debre Shamsi, if nothing happens, if it's a dot ball, he looks visibly upset, like something needs to happen.
A dot ball is a very valuable happening in T20 cricket. In now to Delaney, who swipes across the line. He's missed it, and he's been given out LBW quite rightly by umpire Martin Staggers. That looked very straight and very plumb.
Oh yeah, no, that's dead to right. Riley Rousseau on the field. Is he on? Or is he?
Well, he must be, I guess. Delaney seemed to be caught between two strokes there. No, he was sweeping all along, but just totally missed it and struck on the back leg. And I fancy that's hitting middle and off.
Yeah. Just not on. Obviously not picking Shamsi, but the ball isn't turning. So it's weird that they're pulling out the sweep. It's playing straight, but I guess they have to go for it since the required run rate is now creeping up higher and higher.
They've just been.
It's nearing 12.
Yeah, 11.5 now.
Yeah. So the last wicket to
They've
fall.
just been getting ones.
Yeah, so the last wicket to fall was Gareth Delaney, leg before wicket by Shamsi, 2 of 4 balls, strike rate of 50. That's not good enough.
Curtis Comfer has come in now to face Shamsi, well flighted again, and Comfer is carefully forward and pushes it back to the bowler. No run, that's the end of it. Excellent over. 9 overs gone, 83 for 4. Shamsi has 1 for 7 in 2 overs. Just on your point, Denise, about we're going to see a replay. Impact umpire's call. Wickets missing. My word, Ireland should have reviewed.
Oh, damn.
Oh, my. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself. Umpire, that's strike one down for the umpire getting it wrong.
And he might kick Lorcan Tucker as well for not telling him at the other end that he should have reviewed.
Yeah.
So, Keshav Maharaj to continue, and it's Tucker on strike. 36 or 17 as he goes back now and just steers this one wide of the cover fielder, and they will get an easy single.
Tucker telling him, nah, you're dead, mate. And then he's walked. Like, I would have, like, no, just go out.
Well, to be fair, it looks like Delaney had kind of accepted his fate as well. So Maharaj left arm around, he's bowled him. Comfer onto the back foot, trying to cut. It was the arm ball, and it's gone straight to him. Comfer is out for a 2-ball duck.
Too close to cut, and he rocks out to the back foot, trying to the late cut and just misses it. You miss, I hit, not turning much, and Keshav Maharaj gets his man.
So we have Ireland 84 for 5 after 9.2 overs. Curtis Comfer is bowled by Maharaj for a duck of 2 balls. Well, game gone.
And
bowling. The moment, 2 for 17.
And I'm going to hand over to the relief, whoever's ready to take over. Thanks, Anise. Thanks, Leah.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Ken.
You too. Cheerio.
Thank you so much, Ken. Have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of the game. And Ken is off to do his his normal job, writing about the cricket after talking about the cricket so nicely for us. So no doubt he's preparing his, sharpening his pencils and cleaning his keyboard and doing whatever he needs to do. So Balls of Fuzz says required run rate 11.6, game over for Ireland.
Yes.
Lorcan Tucker will have something to say about that.
Ireland 5 down though, but they by the way, they have taken a drinks break. It's not that you guys are missing anything. They have taken a drinks break early.
See who they still have in the shed. Oh, there's Josh Dockrell to come. Okay. It's not yet game over for Ireland. They still have George Dockrell to come. Dockrell is an all-rounder, and his T20 average is 20.1. But he strikes at 134 in T20s.
Yeah, that could be a good foil for Lorcan Tucker. Somebody,
yes, exactly that,
can just stay there with him.
As Maharaj is into the aforementioned Dockrell now, and he just works this one down to long on for a single, getting Tucker on strike and hopefully trying to get Ireland going again. I'm seeing replays now as Maharaj comes in. Tucker outside off stump, sweeps well, bisecting the fielders, not trying to knock each other out. Van der Dussen, one of them, and just Keshav Maharaj, the captain, not too happy with these boundary riders. The look of just being a little bit upset, but not too happy with his fielders there, thinking that they could have done better mid-wicket, and the long on trying to cut that off. Just bisecting them as he comes in now again. And this one quicker, flatter, down the leg side though, but following Tucker, who just works it to the leg side, where Quinton de Kock cleans up, and the score moves on to 90 for 5 with one more to come in the 10th over.
Let's see what we have on social media. There's nothing on Twitter, I think.
Last ball of the over now. It is put down on the boundary.
Oh dear.
Oh no, it's taking it on the bounce. It was short. Doctor rocked onto the back foot and swatted it baseball style down the ground. But Tristan Stubbs on the boundary there. We know he's got a safe pair of hands, and it just bounces short, gets his body in the way. Good stop in the end by Tristan Stubbs, and they come through for a single, 91 for 5. They're going at 9.1. The required rate is now over 12 and over.
Oh, yes. So, let's see what the scorecard says. So, we have Ireland 91 for 5 after 10 overs. Josh Dockrell is on 2 of 2 at a strike rate of 100. Lorcan Tucker is on 42 of 20 at a strike rate of 210.
Comes in. Dockrell just dances down the wicket, pushes to the leg side. There's a bit of a miscommunication, and he manages to make his ground safely as Tabraiz Shamsi's throw is a bit wayward, and there is no run. He's in now for the second ball of the over. This one is looped up and swatted straight back down the ground. Beautiful straight hit from Dockrell, and it runs away for 4, bisecting the fielders on the boundary straight. With these short boundaries, it is a safe shot, especially with the fielders a bit wide. Beautifully hit straight.
That brings the required run rate down to nearly 12 again. Nearly
12.
Yeah, it's 12.1 still.
Yeah. as Tabray Shamsi in again. This one loops and it gets underneath this one and it's sent high into the stands and it's gone for 6. Straight down the ground. Dockrell getting into business now. Leo is right when she said it's not all doom and gloom for Ireland. They still got Dockrell. And he has now launched this one for 6. That's 10 off this over so far. Tabray Shamsi is going to be upset with himself.
Yes, and Ireland are still marginally ahead of South Africa at this point in the innings. Let's not forget that. They have
again, this one on the stumps. Dockrell rocks onto the back foot, but can only find the cover fielder, and there is no run there. But still, 10 off the over. Job almost done for this over for Ireland. Take it in small bits, and they can get there. Shamsi in again. Second last ball of the over. This one down the leg side, and it's hit and beats flying leg, and it runs away for 4. Tabray Shamsi straying in his line. It was short and wide outside leg stump, and Dockrell just stepped across and swats it down the leg side, beating short fine leg, and it runs away for 4. And that is 14 of the over. Ireland are 105 for 5 with 1 ball to come.
yes.
They've reached the required run rate as Shamsi comes in now for the final ball of this over. This one on a middle and leg, much better line, and it is worked down to the long on boundary where they hit a single. 106 for 5, and that was for 15 off the over.
Yes, and Ireland are actually ahead of the rate concerning the runs. They have lost 3 more wickets than South Africa did at this stage. But concerning the runs, they're ahead.
Yeah. A long way, but
yeah, go ahead.
12 runs to be exact. 12 runs ahead, same stage, but 3 wickets to the worst.
Yes.
Keshav Maharaj is continuing this one outside off full and flat, offering too much air. That one of Keshav Maharaj, and it's worked down to long off for the single where Markram gets the throw in. Keshav Maharaj at the top of his mark. In now past the umpire, and Tucker dancing around the wicket and gets an under edge, beats Quinton de Kock, but it's cleaned up by the short fine leg, and they come through for a single. Dockrell striking at 200. Tucker striking at over 200. Score is 108 for 5. This one is Yorker length on leg stump as Dockrell gives himself some room, but is followed, manages to dig it out, and it runs away to short third man for a single, and that is 109 for 5. Ireland require 103 or 51 balls as Maharaj is into Tucker. This one shortish outside off, and it beats the man at cover, but there is a protection, a sweeper on the offside who comes around and cleans up, and they come back. They only take the single, 110 for 5, with 3 balls to come in this over. A bit of sloppy fielding, hitting one of the divots. 2 balls to come. This one wide outside off as Dockrell was dancing down the wicket, but this time cover does take it cleanly. No run there. 1 ball to come, 110 for 5. Ireland lead 102. It was on the wide line, and he chased it. He had to, coming down the wicket as Maharaj in now. This one bludgeons straight back down the ground, but Maharaj gets something on it, takes some of the pace on it, and it's cleaned up on the boundary at long off. And they come through for a single, 111 for 5 feet in the air, 101 needed or 48.
This Maharaj over is pretty good at this stage of the game, I think. It's strong with Ireland.
Very good. But they're going to have to string in a couple of good overs, only 5 off of that last one. Very good over there, and it does change the complexion a bit more. 101 off 101 needed of 8 overs is what Ireland need.
I'll lift up my feet just because I need the exercise.
Sorry.
101 needed of 48.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that was
was
a chance.
almost a return catch. You could say that was a drop catch by Maharaj, but that went so quickly and it could have taken 3 of his fingers off.
Yeah.
It's very expensive, Dwayne Pretorius.
He's in now. This Yorker on a middle and leg stump, and they get off of Nelson, and the score moves on to 112 for 5. Beautiful Yorker.
100 to win or 47 balls?
Oh, it's possible. Easy peasy.
So it's up to the seamers now because the spinners have been doing an excellent job.
Yes.
And the rest of the chase will be against the seamers.
As this one is a full toss on leg stump, and Tucker misses out as it's worked to a deep mid wicket, cow corner, and they come through for the single. 113 for 5, 99 needed of 46 now.
So give us Dwayne Pretorius's figures there if you can so far.
Yes,
Extremely expensive.
Yes, Tristan Pretorius has bowled 1.2 overs. Just a second. Reload that. Yes, he's bowled 1.2 overs. He's gone for 15 runs at an economy of 11.25.
And it's just going to get worse as he drops this one short, and it's a baseball-style swing by Dockrell across the line. Finds the toe end of the bat, but enough to take it over the boundary for 6. Not a very convincing shot, but it travelled on these short straight boundaries.
Which takes Pretorius's economy to 14. And Dockrell's strike rate to 192.
This one is on a bit fuller this time on leg stump in the arc, but Dockrell just manages to get it down to a deep backward square for the single. Tucker on strike now. Seems like it's been ages since he has been on strike to a pace bowler. 120 for 5 is the score. As Pretorius comes in now, this one is full waist high, full toss, and it is sent to the boundary for 4. 1 bounce 4. Will they call it a no ball? It is now in a bit of a hole underneath the stands. They're going to need a new ball, or they're going to need someone to go fetch it under this stand. A bit of a breather for the South Africans. They can take a bit of a powwow now. Waist high, full toss. Dreadful delivery.
Yeah, I don't know what the lines are planned here for South Africa with the lines that they're bowling. Well, the lines that Pretorius is bowling specifically.
Yeah.
He tried to follow the batsman there, but I think if the ball didn't slip out of his hand, that was just awful execution. If the batter had left that ball, it probably would have been a wide and a no ball for height, not bouncing on the wicket. And yeah, it's now 1 ball to go in Pretorius' second over. He's already conceded 26. So almost, they're going to change the ball. They can't find that ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a good find for whoever is be lurking around the ground during a county game. If the fans come in, Tucker now 1 away from 50. Batting at better than 200, and Dockrell batting just worse than 200. But Tucker to face now. Pretorius, 1 ball to come, and this one is launched over the offside, and it is sent for 6 again. Oh, Tucker moves on to 55. Fantastic shot, and Ireland are still in this. Ireland are
definitely in this with Locke and Tucker making it at over 200 strike rate. Trent Pretorius going at 16 and over, and Keshav Maharaj being the better bowler for South Africa, with 2 wickets and going at 7.25 runs and over. So
as Tucker played that shot, Devil Pretorius' shoulders just drooped. That's not what you want to see from your fast bowler, but it is a sign of the times. Look at Tucker going on like a rocket. Is he? South Africa really need to get that wicket, the wicket of Lorcan and Tucker, to keep Ireland honest. And I don't understand why Pretorius, who's a right-handed bowler, has decided that he's going to come around the wicket to Tucker. It's just opening up an entire side of the field, especially if your ring field is offside heavy.
Yeah, I think he's missed a trick here because the only dismissal that he's got available then is caught.
Yeah.
Parnell continues.
He's outside off and played straight to cover for the single, but that gets Tucker on but that was to Dockrell. The score is 131 for 5. Tucker is now on strike, the dangerous Tucker. And this partnership is 47 of 23 balls. And Ireland need 80.
Ireland need 81 in 41.
Yeah, it's possible with Tucker there hitting the way he is. It's the Irish take a bit of a scare.
It's just about possible with Tucker staying there at the strike rate he's at now, and Dockrell at the strike rate he is at now. But they have to back out at their strike rates respectively for the rest of the innings.
This one is outside off, and it is smashed down the ground, but there is cover at long off where it is cut off by Markram and just launched back in. But they come back for 2 as the score moves on to 133 for 5. South Africa won't mind that. Just stop the boundaries as Parnell comes in again. Outside off, smashed back down the ground, but it is cut off by long off again, and they can only take a single this time. 134 for 5.
So Ireland have really painted Maharaj into a corner here with his bowlers because after this over, there's 5 overs to go. Parnell will have 1 over left, and then Ngidi and Pretorius each have 1 left, and Shamsi has 1 left. So the bowlers that have been the most expensive for South Africa will be forced to bowl the last 4 overs for South Africa against this Ireland team. So they've really made it very difficult for Maharaj unless wickets fall.
This one is outside off, and Dockrell dances down the wicket and messes it, and it goes straight through to the keeper, and there is no run. 134 for 5. 134 for 4, almost there. What's a official life? Whoa!
but let's be fair. Any dot ball for the South African bowling attack now is actually very important.
Now it's gold dust.
Now it's gold dust.
Yep.
Full outside off, and it's sent way back. Gone.
Ah!
5. Dockrell getting into the now, batting at 200, just under. And Tucker also batting at over 200, and they are keeping Ireland in this game. You can't bowl there. Full toss outside off, just getting your length wrong, and it is sent a long way. Straight down the ground, safest place there is, and it's gone for 6.
Short boundaries down straight. Yeah. So, good cricket here by Ireland.
One ball
well done to them.
Final ball, this one right outside off. It bounces, and they can only Dockrell can only drag it down, and it runs down to mid off, long off for the single. 141 for 5 is the score.
Yes. George Dockrell on 36 of 19, Lorcan Tucker of 58 from 27. Let's see if we have any social media interactions. No, come on, people, tweet us in. You know the channels. We'd like to hear from you. Come on.
So
South Africa
Parnell is now 3 overs, 2 for 30. So he's
10 and
still
over. 10 and over's
going
fine.
at
10 and over's
yeah,
fine.
it's still okay. But it just feels like Ireland are having their way with South Africa. They just it's like a pit bull with a toy. It feels like, but it's still in the balance here. A few more wickets and it swings South Africa's way, and a few more boundaries from
Ireland, yeah.
Lorcan Tucker will swing it Ireland's way. So let's see what Ngidi can do.
Ngidi back in the deck, drops this one short. It's a slower ball, and it is in the air, but bounces safe. Oh, Dockrell going for the pull shot, getting the top edge, but because of the superb hitting from Dockrell and Tucker, the field is pushed back, and it just falls safe right next to the square leg umpire, where they can come through for a single. 142 for 5. Ngidi, good start to the over.
Yeah, that was a slower ball bouncer.
Yeah.
Bit of a top edge. Lots of spin on that ball as it bounced.
As this one is another slower ball. Nearly takes Quinton de Kock's head off as it bounced a bit more. Tucker missed everything there. A slower ball outside off, and just had a swat at it, and then Quinton de Kock had to do the cleanup just as it pitched. Bounced right in front of him, had some turn, and it skipped up, nearly taking Quinton de Kock's head off. 70 now.
70 balls needed off 34.
Yeah.
70 runs needed, excuse me, off 34. Sorry.
Yes.
In was the umpire. This one wide outside off. Tucker having a swing. Lungi Ngidi will not mind that. It's another dot ball. As trying to force the game. Another slower one. 108 k's an hour. Not following him. Just holding his line, holding his nerve. This is what South Africa need to do. Make Ireland chase the game.
Very good bowling here by Ngidi. Very good comeback. His first 2 overs were horrific. But he is redeeming himself. 70 runs needed by Ireland off 33 balls.
Ngidi in now, past the umpire. This one is short again, and it's pulled well. And it will run away for 4. And the score moves on to 146 for 2, and that's the second. That's the second one for the over, or 2 balls to come rather. Sorry, from the umpire. I thought that he said that's the second one for the over, and would have called it a no ball. But yeah, on the pull shot, dropped it short, and pulled beautifully in front of the square for 4, bisecting the field, the boundary riders at deep backward square and mid wicket.
Yes, but if South Africa take another wicket, they are officially in the jail. So
And this one outside off just sits up, and Dockrell is on strike, and they can only did they get a single? Yes, they took the single, and Tucker could only play it out to the offside where they come through for a single. The only ball with pace on it went for 4. So will we continue seeing the slower balls coming from Lungi Ngidi? Last ball of the over. Can you finish it up as he's in now past the umpire? This one is outside off, and it is launched to the offside, and it is another slower one. Aidan Malcolm takes it on the bounce, and he holds on to it. So they come through for the single. 148 for 5. Good over from Lungi Ngidi. Only 6 from it? 7 from it.
Yep.
7, yes.
7.
That, takes Ireland to 148 for 5, with George Dockrell on 38 from 21 and Lorcan Tucker on 63 from 31. Lungi Ngidi bowled the last over, and it went for 7 runs. But this is the last of the recognized batsmen. If they can, if they can take one more wicket here, they are through to the soft underbelly of Ireland.
64 needed of 30 balls. Will Diego Pretorius change his line, or will he continue feeding? He has, and this one is on off stump, and it has worked away to the sweeper on the offside, on coming around from deep cover, and they come through for 2. Instead of
So
coming around,
Maharaj has no choice now. And when is Shamsi going to bowl his last over?
yeah,
Probably after this one.
yeah,
Probably, yes.
10 and
Dwayne
over.
Pretorius is bowling his final over now. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
If he can pull it back.
This one full outside off and is beaten Dockrell, and that is what he's looking for, and it is straight through to the keeper.
Oh no, I have to correct myself. Dwayne Pretorius is bowling his third over.
Oh,
So he's still got one more after this. He is better at the death, but he hasn't been
yeah.
very underwhelming so far.
Well,
Not
they trust him to
nearly,
bowl.
not even close to his best at the moment.
And now this one full on off stump again, and it is played to the offside where it's cleaned up by deep cover, and Tristan Stubbs launches this one in with a bullet arm, and taken by Quinton de Kock. They come through for the single, 151 for 5. I see that they're not using
150 for Ireland. Well done.
I see this third 50 coming off 28 balls. They are batting. Oh, that's superb stuff. They're on target. One good over, and it just changes the complexion.
No, they're not on target right now. Their current run rate is 9.74, and the required run rate is nearing 14.
Yeah,
It's 13.4.
2 overs, and we can change.
Yes, I know.
Works straight down the ground, and it is cleaned up by a long off. This is a good comeback over from Diego Pretorius, and touch wood.
But it would require this partnership to accelerate, and then the sloggers to really slog it.
Yeah,
which is a bit dicey, I would say.
yeah. Might be a mountain too high to climb, but there is still a chance with these two. We can't write Ireland off now. This one wide outside off, and it is driven back. Dockrell slips, so can't come through for the single, and it is a dot ball with 1 ball to come in the over. A great comeback over so far by Pretorius.
Now, he's been the worst of the South African bowlers in terms of run rate, but he's pulling it back really nicely at the moment. So well done to him. It's good to see.
Oh, and it's been called a no ball. Oh, free hit with 2 balls to come, and yeah, he has overstepped. Oh, and now the pain continues for Pretorius. Free hit is coming as Pretorius is in. This one, full outside off stump, launched into the air and taken safely by Lungi Ngidi, and they can only get the 1. No harm, no foul. 154 for 5. If that Lungi Ngidi took that one, I would be very upset with myself because it would be a free hit.
Yeah. So maybe Pretorius is not someone you would use in the power play. You use him in the middle over. He's much better there than in the power play.
He's a specialist death bowler.
Last ball of the over. Not the last ball of the over. This is going to be called wide, following the batsman who is walking across the stump. And this one is
Come on,
wide. 155 is the score.
He was almost all the way across to the wide line. Okay, yeah, but that was like outside the pitch. Okay,
Yeah.
That's so wide. Yeah.
So he's in.
155 for 5.
And he's past the umpire now. 4 would have hit off stump, and this one is laid across the line. And Dockrell is sent back, and it is a dot ball. 155 for 5 after 16. Ireland giving South Africa a scare. Riley Rousseau trying to G up the team. I wonder who's off. Is Keshav Maharaj off? Who's he on for?
I don't know. But this is a devastating partnership, much like the one between Markram and Hendricks. 71 runs now, 6.4 overs, 10.65 run rate. There or thereabouts with the required rate, but they are definitely rattling the nerves of the South African team. Tucker and Dockrell.
4 overs left, 57. We've seen miracles happen before. It wouldn't be a miracle, but we've seen this amount of runs chased easily in 4 overs before. So it is still game on.
Indeed.
As Tabré Shamsi is going to finish. Oh, very brave.
No, Maharaj has got no choice.
Shamsi in now. This one worked down the ground, and they turn down the second, and there is only the single. 156 for 5. Oh, yeah, you're right. So it's going to be 1 over each from Ngidi, Parnell, and Pretorius. We finish up. I think Pretorius will bowl the next one, and then Ngidi and Parnell to finish the last 2.
Yes.
Pretorius needs to get it over with.
As Shamsi in now. Tucker dances down the wicket and works it into the leg side, and they come through for 2 quite easily. Good running there, and the score moves on to 158 for 5. We didn't see Aiden Markram bowl. It was difficult being seen all parts of the ground. No Aiden Markram. Very interesting.
Yes, and we have another comment on YouTube saying, giving us a run for our money, these boys.
As Shamsi in now, and this is swept by Tucker, and they come through for 2, where it's cleaned up by Tristan Stubbs, who's diving around the field, can't keep him out of the game, and the score moves on to 160. They're setting themselves up way before in the bowlers gather already. Outside leg stump. Tabré Shamsi just following him. Shamsi in now for the 4th ball of the over. Loops this one outside off. Gets underneath it. And it gets all of it. And it's gone for 6. Tucker still hitting and still going. 166 for 5.
John, don't be too pessimistic. Ireland are right now going at 9.96 for the complete innings. The required run rate is 13.8, and during the last 5 overs, they have gone for 11.4. Don't sweat it yet.
Shamsi in now, and this one it's gone for 4, drops it short, drags it down, and Tucker obliges and swats it back down the ground for 4, playing a baseball style pull, and in between long on and mid wicket, and it just belted away for 4. They are on target now with this over, and South Africa might be getting the jitters. 170 for 5. Shamsi in now. Launches this one as a top edge. It's taken by Quinton de Kock. And that's the end of Tucker. And I think that's game done. The nerves might be set.
As a neutral, let me say this is game done. South Africa are now into the soft underbelly of the Irish team. So let's recapitulate. Ireland are now 176. The last wicket to fall is Lorcan Tucker, caught by the cock, bowled by Shamsi for 78 of 38 balls. He struck 7 fours, 5 sixes, and he went along at a strike rate of 205.26. So this is the danger man removed, and after him there is not much more. You are now South Africa are now into the tail.
South Africa, well, Ireland again giving one of the bigger nations a huge scale.
Just
falling
short.
And all of a sudden, Shamsi's figures look excellent. 4 overs, 2 for 37, 9.25 runs conceded. So here we go with the last 3 overs. And it will be Ngidi, Parnell and Proteas to bowl. And they've got a new batsman to bowl at, thanks to almost a fumble there by Quinton de Kock, but he caught it on the second juggle there, going down to the ground. Jordan on YouTube saying test of nerves for our boys as Proteas continues.
This one wide outside off, and it is taken beautifully on the boundary by Aiden Markram, diving forward. Dockrell, the other danger man, gone, and now it is safe to say that the game might be gone for Ireland. This one wide outside off and just lofted into the air. Aiden Markram just diving forward and putting his body on the line and taking a fantastic catch. Proteas not giving huge fist bumps and celebrations like the Ray Shamsi, who was giving aggressive high fives. Well, Proteas is just happy that he got some reward for his bowling.
So Jordan here saying test of nerves for our boys. They will need that going forward because not because of the big occasion, but because of the small occasion, you could say. You don't want to be in the team that loses to Ireland.
Yeah.
Andy Mcbride comes to the wicket, left-handed batter, 29 matches, 143 runs, best of 36. But let's just take a moment for Lorcan Tucker's innings. That was absolutely phenomenal. It would have been great to see him carry his team through to the last over and maybe get them a bit closer. But he played that is a world-beating innings. That would have won the match in most teams, in most other situations.
This one is short, well outside off, well wide of the wide line, just bouncing on the edge of the pitch. Surprised that they're not going to check it out for a no ball. And it is just cut down to short third man. And they come through for a single as we just look again at this fantastic catch by Aiden Markram. Diving forward, getting it wrong would have been a ball in the face. And but as we were saying about Tucker's innings, was something special to watch. And again, put a bit of fear in the South African team.
Yeah, and Dockrell as well. Being there with Tucker and just supporting him and also attacking the bowlers, giving the bowlers nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Yes, and doing at a strike rate of 150 plus is pretty good in a T20, I think.
This one is outside off stump and just worked to the leg side by Mcbride, and they come through for a single, 172 for 7. The surrounding area of
Thank
this
you,
ground,
Jordan.
very dark.
Yes, thank you, Jordan, for providing us with lovely commentary and lovely
Comments.
Now with lovely company. Thank you very much.
Okay. This one is
our pleasure.
Wide outside off again, but it is not given a wide. Was there some bat on it? Chased it past the wide line, and Proteas followed him and not given a wide.
No, I think the umpire using his discretion there. I mean, you can't stand outside the line. Yeah. I mean that batter was on the crease, on the line of the popping crease.
Glorious in now, and this one again outside off, and it is Adair just swiping across the line, and it trickles down to the leg side, and they come through for a single, 173 for 7, 39 off 13. Most would assume job done.
Please forgive me, John. It's pretty late here, and English is not my native language, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's late here as well. It's 11:15 here in Pretoria.
Yeah, here too. Central European time. Central time. So.
Pretorius in again to finish this over. It is short, it's pulled, and they can only come through for the single, 175 for 7. And that is the end of the over. And Ireland need 37 off 12.
Yes. That's a steep ask. They need 18.5 per over. They're currently going along at 9.72. The batters in for Ireland are Mark Adair on 2 of 3 and Andy Mcbride of 3 of 2. I think the dismissals of
Tucker, yeah.
And Dockrell.
And Tucker were the key for South Africa, I think.
Zingini comes in again, and this one is outside off, and there's a swipe across the line, and it's straight through to the keeper for no run.
Yeah, it's a lucky escape here for South Africa. I think that one wicket that wasn't referred might have made a difference. See this next delivery.
As this one is bowled him straight through him, and Lungi Ngidi, I hit another slower ball.
Yes.
Was early on the shot was Adair, and it beat him all ends up, and it just managed, and it crashes into the stumps. 175 for 8 now is the score. Lungi Ngidi finishing well.
Now Mark Adair just you could see that it was completely mistimed. His head fell back as the stroke came through, and that meant that he didn't connect with the ball, didn't keep his eyes down. That's how I play golf shots, by the way. I tend to lift my head up early as well, so I've got much sympathy for Adair's technique there. Not great, but he loses his wicket, bowled by Ngidi. 175 for 8.
So,
Mccarthy in now.
Mark Adair bowled Ngidi for 2 of 5 balls at a strike rate of 40. Ireland are 175 for 8 and need 37 in 10 balls.
As Ngidi comes in now, and this one is just worked away to the leg side. And we're seeing a replay of that dismissal, and he was well early on the shot. As Otto was saying, he lifted his head early, and it went straight through him, hitting the top of the middle and off, and cleaning him up. There's Lungi Ngidi remeasuring his run up. Oh, that's a fine in the meeting after the game. There's the spray paint.
You need to do that before you start.
He comes in now.
Monica?
Coming around the wicket to the left hand and in the slot, and this one is gone into the crowd. And it might be a little too late. 182 for 8. Mcbride getting all of that one, and the crowd, the member of the crowd is very upset that he dropped that one, and I think they may have lost another ball. I had it. Explaining to his friends.
I had it. I could have caught it. Yeah. 30 required of 8, still possible.
And again, and this one swatted away again to the leg side by Mcbride, but this time finds the fielder on the boundary, and they come through for two. Oh, they come through for the single, sorry, and 183 for 8. As we see a replay now. Did he drop it? Did he disappoint his friends? Oh, it's straight through him.
Well, he was, in his defense, he was leaning over to his left. But yeah, maybe a few too many beers there.
Yeah.
Because he seemed to have lost it at the last moment.
In again, this one is pulled well, and it falls safe of the fielder. And he's run out! He ran halfway down, coming back for the second. They had to go, and he is run. McCarthy? Was it Mcbride?
Mcbride.
Mcbride is run out 184 for 8, went for the single, and there was some miscommunication. No effort at all from his batting partner to sending him back, and he is caught stranded. No lineup bails.
Yeah, neat glove work there by Quinton de Kock. Mcbride left stranded by his partner halfway down the wicket.
Yep.
They probably could have made the 2, but he obviously had it in his mind. So that's a miscommunication.
So
you've got it. Yeah.
So we have
Let's go.
Andy Mcbride run out by Klaassen and de Kock for 10. 4 balls, no fours, 1-6, and a strike rate of 250.
And that is also the end of the over. And the final one will be bowled by Wayne Parnell, who will be bowling to McCarthy with 6 balls left. And South Africa are going on their way to a victory. And this one is outside off and beats McCarthy. And it is now 28 needed off of 5. And again, Ireland have given a bigger nation a scare, but just imploded there at the end. They looked like they were on target with Tucker and Dockrell at the wicket.
Let me to that effect after the game, Anis, please.
Yeah.
Mm.
Reading it before.
I think that.
That's why.
Yeah, we can have a bit of a chin wag after the match and see what's what.
Yeah, no.
This one outside off and beats McCarthy again and straight through to the keeper. 184 for 9 is the score. 28 needed off 4 balls.
Yeah, so now it's mathematically impossible unless South Africa bowls some horrible wides and no balls and free hits.
Yes.
No ball 7s.
Mm.
This one wide outside off. Will it be called a wide by Mr. Umpire? No, it won't. 184 for 9 is the score. McCarthy just can't make contact.
And here's another talking point.
Yeah.
From Jordan.
Yeah, we'll go to that after the innings, I think, because there's three balls left, and it goes to my point as well. So
this one outside off and beaten again. 184 for 9, 2 balls to come, 28 needed of 2. I want them to hit a 6 so that Ireland need 22 of 1. Just so they know what South Africa felt like in the 1992 World Cup.
Yeah, but good show from Ireland.
Of course, the umpire double stepped and beaten outside off, and 28 needed off of 1 ball. And that
is this going to be a maiden over in the final over from Parnell?
This will be so. Oh, and we've been putting the markers on Parnell all game because he's been a bit expensive, and now he comes back with the maiden over. That's going to look brilliant for him statistically.
That's going to make his figures look awesome.
Parnell in now. Last ball. This one up, and gone.
Ah,
Finishes with the
I jinxed it.
All right.
22. South Africa win by 21 runs. And
Well done,
Ireland
McBride.
on 190 for 9. Made a game of it, the Irish.
Yes, they did. So, let's see South Africa versus Ireland. First T20 in Bristol. Why are they playing in Bristol? It was a South Africa tour of the British Isles.
Yeah.
Why are South Africa playing against Ireland in Bristol?
Yeah, somehow this is like a weird thing. It might be travel restrictions or something. That's all I can think.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sure. European Union, Brexit, stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah. But they also said that they couldn't sort out a ground for them to play at in Ireland. Even the first minute, one of the ministers in Ireland said, "Why is the first minister said, why is it happening in England?"
Come on, I mean, they have a first class system in Ireland. They have first class grounds. They have everything you want there. But before we get into that, just let me take you through the scorecard.
Okay.
So we have the first T20 between South Africa and Ireland on South Africa's tour of the British Isles. Was played at Bristol. South Africa won the toss and decided to bat first. Where Quinton de Kock run out Tector 7, Reza Hendricks, Court Sterling, Bolt Delaney 74, Rassie van der Dusen, Court Bolt Bryan 10, Aidan Markram, Court Tector, Bolt Delaney, Heinrich Klaassen, not out 6, Tristan Stubbs, Court Tucker, Bolt Little 24, Twain Pretorius, not out 21. The bowling figures for South Africa were Mark Adair, 4 overs, no wickets for 48 runs at an economy of 12. For Ireland, excuse me. So, bowling figures for Ireland were Mark Adair, 4 overs bowled, no wickets taken, 48 runs conceded for an economy of 12. Andy Mcbride, 2 overs bowled, 1 wicket taken, 12 runs conceded, economy 6. Josh Little, 4 overs bowled, 1 wicket taken, 55 runs conceded at an economy of 13.75. Barry Mccarthy, 4 overs bowled, no wickets taken, 38 runs conceded at an economy of 9.5. George Dockrell, 1 over bowled, 4 no wickets, 11 runs conceded, economy of 11. Gareth Delaney, 3 overs bowled, 2 wickets taken for 31 runs with an economy of 10.33. And Curtis Campbell, 2 overs bowled, 4 no wickets, 60 runs with an economy of 8. The Ireland innings, Paul Sterling was out. LBW bowled Parnell for 18 runs. Andy Balboni, the captain. Court Pretorius bowled Parnell for 14. Lorcan Tucker, the wicketkeeper, caught the Cock, bowled Shamsi 78. Harry Tector, Court Pretorius bowled Maharaj 6. Gareth Delaney, leg before, bowled Shamsi 2. Curtis Campbell bowled Maharaj for a duck. George Dockrell, Court Markram, bowled Pretorius 43. Mark Adair bowled Ngidi for 2. Andy Mcbride run out Klaassen de Kock for 10. Barry McCarthy for 8 and Josh Little on none. Finish not out. Bowling figures: Keshav Maharaj, 4 overs bowled, 2 wickets taken, 29 runs conceded for an economy of 7.25. Lungi Ngidi bowled 4 overs, took 1 wicket for 39 runs at an economy of 9.75. Wayne Parnell bowled 4 overs, took 2 wickets, conceded 36 runs at 9 and over. Dwayne Pretorius bowled 4 overs, took 1 wicket, conceded 44 runs at 11 runs and over. And Tabraiz Shamsi bowled 4 overs, took 2 wickets for 32 runs at 9.25 and over. So, South Africa win by 21 runs during the first T20, and my point earlier in the day was that was basically the point. I mean, it's about getting the newer nations, the associate nations, and everything. It's not like South Africa lost to minnows. It's like, okay, we're getting the Soviet nations or the newer test nations up to speed in the game. I think that's important. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Look, Ireland gave South Africa a scare, and they've had near misses against. They played very well against India and New Zealand. It was competitive cricket for the majority of those series. And Ireland are going to get across the line eventually. So I don't like the term minnows for Ireland because they were in the game. It's not like they were completely blasted out.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting going forward. But just quickly about this series not taking place in Ireland, the head of cricket in Ireland posed the same question: why is this not taking place in Ireland? And I'm pretty sure it's probably visas or travel restrictions, because it would have been getting a visa, having to go to Ireland, then getting a different visa, and coming back to the UK for the tests, and only staying there for a week. It's a bit of a pain with all the travel since the
But
UK
a Schengen, even without Brexit, Schengen visa doesn't get you into Britain.
Yeah, because they're outside of the zone.
Yeah, the problem is just that Ireland is part of Schengen, but not.
So it would have been interesting.
So it's probably easier for the Irish players to travel to Britain than it would have been for the South African players to travel to Ireland.
Yeah,
after being in Britain.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm just shooting in the dark. I don't know.
It's absolutely this. The South African players had to apply for a visa for Britain, and it's pretty easy to get from Ireland to Britain. But it's not.
As we know, the power of a passport is determined by the amount of countries you can go to without getting a visa. And you can't go anywhere with a South African passport without getting a visa.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, you can go to Zimbabwe and Mozambique and Botswana and Namibia and Swaziland.
You need a visa to go to Namibia.
Really?
Yeah.
Since when?
We were planning to go, and then I was like, do I need a visa to go to? They're like, yeah. I'm like,
what the hell, Namibia?
But I think not anymore. Not anymore, because now I think the African Union something. So now
it's SADC. Yeah, it's SADC.
So
Anyway, okay, so that's the venue of the game, but I think the key word for me here is competitive.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
Irish are a competitive side, and even in all forms of the game. I mean, they're not to be taken light. Same goes
Yeah.
for Afghanistan.
Yeah.
No,
Who
absolutely
are
not.
playing next?
Same goes for the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And those nations have really lifted up their status in the past decade or so. It's been difficult with the past 2 years, but there's there's very few minnows. I think if we go down another level to the sides that we saw when I was checking out the Irish players, they've got records, best
Papua New
performances against the United States and Papua New Guinea and such. But that's good. I mean, and cricket is a game where it's very much like football, where if you have a well coordinated, well coached team, you do stand a chance. You have that X factor player that will be in a top tier nation side like a Josh Butler, a Quinton de Kock, those type of guys that can just smash it to all parts. But Ireland have got Paul Sterling. Afghanistan have got Rashid Khan.
No, they have more. So many.
and a few others. Yeah,
So-
but still, that's my point. Is that it's not it's not a given that you're going to go there and beat them.
Yeah.
You're going to have to play your best cricket, otherwise you're going to be found out.
On the topic about the US, with minor league cricket growing, and a lot of South Africans and Australians and New Zealanders and West Indians playing in these leagues, they're trying to launch a major league cricket as well. America in 10, 15 years might become one of the top teams in the world if they get the right investment in. But about this specific game, South Africa versus Ireland, Ireland had 13 extras. And if you think about that, you take away the 13 extras, South Africa are down to 198. And that changes the complexion of everything so much. And then Ireland would have been in the game, and it would have been a lot less stress on them as well. 13 extras really came back to haunt them.
Yeah,
Good point.
but I think about the point about the incentive. I think it's very important. Being Afghanistan is now a very good side, and Ireland is now a very good side. I think the ICC should just say, if you want test status, take it. Because I know we have a lot of people in my country, and I'm from Germany, who would be flashed by, all right, we can achieve test status.
Yeah, but it's also another thing. You can't grow the game in Ireland or the Netherlands or Afghanistan if the only teams that they are playing are each other. So you're going to have them tour the bigger nations, but the bigger nations are very reluctant to have them come over because where's the money in it? And that's also the incentive. That's where the ICC need to step in and say, okay, look, we'll fit the bill for this.
We had the Intercontinental Cup for stuff like that.
Yeah, but I would love to have Afghanistan tour South Africa. You can't tour Afghanistan; it's too dangerous. Ireland tour South Africa for series, sort of thing.
Well, Pakistan played as a touring side for 14 years.
Yeah, they played.
They played their home games in the UAE.
Yeah, I think this is the same kind of conversation that we have about the women's game. It's all about the eyes. It's all about the eyeballs on the game. If there's enough fans that support the game and watch, then the ICC will, or the money will be there. So it's tough. It's that chicken and egg, you know.
Do
you think that the big three should should spread the love around a bit more.
Yes, absolutely. I'm in Germany. I live in Hanover, and there are enough people here in this city of 500,000 people who would say, all right, we would like to play first-class cricket. Of course, we wouldn't play against a first-class South African side, but we want to see a path to test status. We want to see the path to test status.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we do not see that. That is our problem with the ICC.
Yeah.
They talk so much about
That's a good point. If you can see, okay, if we check these boxes, if we go this route, then we can get to that level.
Yeah.
If I had the answers, I would be working for the ICC or for CSA, I think.
And this game today made that even more important to me because you see, Ireland got test status in 2017, and it has now taken 5 years, and they are a formidable enemy for established test nations. So, of course, it will take a lot of development and stuff like that, but this is the way to grow the game, to give other nations who want to enter into the test club a way to go.
But you look at Sri Lanka got test status in the 90s, and within 1992. If you think of it, in 1992 they got test status. In 1996 they won a World Cup.
Yes. Sorry. Zimbabwe got it in 92.
Yeah. No, it's
1982 for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, 1988. So then, 8 years later, they won a World Cup. So it's possible is that infrastructure, that investment from the ICC to start with, to be able to push forward and grow the game. But what is the focus of the ICC to grow the game? If all they're looking at, if you look at the schedule, everything's now around the IPL, the BBL, the 100, England's bash, Australia's big bash, and now South Africa's competition, and a T20 and a T10 competition in the UAE. That's not growing the game.
No.
Where is
I think
an intercontinental thing in Europe? How about that be your way to grow the game in Europe, where you have the stars from around the world come and play in that league?
But I think this discussion is too wide ranging.
We need a podcast, Otto.
Now to take it onto commentary on a game right now. The thing is, what I would say is that Ireland challenging a test nation, and has been a test nation for over 100 years nowadays, should be at least an eye-opener for the ICC about why don't other people get test status? Why don't we embrace other nations? There's so much talent there, and this is an age in which we can actually develop this talent, and not have New Zealand not win a test match for 40 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. So why are they so stingy with the test status thing?
Because it means they can't
Money.
divert so much money anymore. I'm not sorry.
There you go.
I'm not sorry for accusing them of corruption.
C word, the other C word we don't use.
Yes, the third C word.
The third C word.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're well on our way to we are well on our way to solving all the problems in world cricket and the world at large. But we have to call it a night.
Yes.
Final thoughts, Leah?
Yes. It was a pleasure as always to be on. Thank you very much to the team, and thank you very much to everyone listening. Hope you tune in next time. Well, good night.
Good night.
Anis?
Yeah, Ireland gave South Africa a scare. Ireland again near miss. Wasn't a blowout. It was totally competitive cricket. It was very good to see, and we hope to see more in the second. Let's be.
Yeah, so Friday night, 7:30 South African time. That's 3:30 GMT, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.